Welcome to all you wonderful, wonderful, very intelligent viewers. Good evening. This evening, well, I say this evening, my boys are all over the place. We have the we have the Powerfest Super High Roller final day about to kick off, and I see Henry's just laughing at my intro this evening. How are we doing, Henry?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm laughing because, you know, I don't know where you go with that intro, but listen, we'll take it. And yeah, we got Jeff Gross in here with us as well, man. So what's not to love about today? We got the 25k final 11. We got Jeff Gross calling the action with us. We're gonna have fun with this one.
We do indeed. The big man JG, how are we doing, buddy? You all good?
It's good, man. Same old father life, a little different, but love it. Love it. I love to come in for these big guarantees. These big, 1.6 million on a 1 million guarantee. I think bigger than the, you know, there are other poker sites. Party poker obviously is dear to our hearts and the biggest, but I think this is, you know, it's good to see that huge numbers, great turnout, way over the guarantee, and some great players here battling for $480,000, which is really healthy 25k. So it's amazing to see. Again, the poker economy just doesn't let down. Crypto's thriving, things are happening, poker is ready to go. I think 2021 may be one of the biggest years yet, and obviously WSOP news, other stuff happening, and it's a healthy time, ready for party poker to get back on the live 4 stops hopefully this year. Do we have any predictions on that, James, Henry? Is there a party? We kind of hear little rumors where we're involved, but do you have any firm predictions?
My lips are sealed, my man. My lips are sealed. Sworn to secrecy.
All right, fair enough. Let's try. I didn't want to be the one to say it, but I think at some point there will be live poker again, party poker repping stuff. So we'll see when that is. But today it's on the virtual felt. So exciting names, big prize pool. This will be fun.
But like you say, Jeff, it's nice to see the turnout. 64 players, as Jeff mentions, for this 25k. Obviously, they're coming for the money, they're coming for the play, but it's nice to see the support for party poker. And if we take a look at the tournament info in general, we'll see. As I say, 64 entries. The guys are now up to 25-minute clocks. It was 20 minutes on day one. There are 11 left. We see there, as Jeff says, first prize 480k, with everyone now guaranteed 54k. Henry, we had quite a prolonged bubble period yesterday. Not necessarily the pure bubble, but it got nervy for some players, didn't it?
It feels like every 25k or every high roller we cover, we go into the final day saying how insane the bubble was.
Right.
Yesterday, I think topped it all. So, you know, we just had one of those spots where chip leader against second in chips, you know, just some ill-timed aggression and going from, you know, first, second in chips to being in, you know, 11 of 12 on a 54k bubble. And it just changed the whole dynamic. You know, Stevie Chidwick was short stacked. There are a couple other players, you know, sub 7, 8 big blinds, all now, you know, potentially able to sneak their way into the money. And then unfortunately for obviously Stevie Chidwick, wasn't to be. Ended up, you know, getting it in with ace-8 against pocket kings. But yeah, man, it was crazy, James.
Well, Henry, I mean, as you say, obviously there was some ill-time aggression, but our chip leader here, Timothy Nutter, was the beneficiary of some of that ill-timed aggression, wasn't he? Obviously, flopping top 2 in a spot. But well, we're going to start with his table. Of course, on the other table, we did have Andras Nemeth, who just seemed to be kind of putting the hammer down on the guys as well, didn't he? I'd say very well timed aggression from him, because he certainly rose up the ranks as the evening progressed. But hey, we're into it, and it looks like already we're down to 10. Just confirmation, the seat that's empty there, Henry, is Sami Kelopuro, I believe. Who was on the left of Tim. So as you say, it was what, second in chips, I think, certainly chip leader on this table. And made the move, Jeff. And we like it when they make the move, Jeff. They make the move, doesn't always work out. You know, he had a pair, he had some back doors. Let's go. Let's put maximum pressure on these guys.
Yeah, this is, I mean, the 25Ks is really online. It's just as big as it gets. Of course, once in a while you sprinkle in 100K. You know, parties had those, but 25K, there's no slouches, and it's exciting to watch. I mean, it's definitely high level. And has there anyone that stood out? Obviously, we see some big names here in this field, but are there any of these guys like Timothy Nutter I'm not as familiar with? This guy, Jonathan Sachs, unless I'm missing the last name because it's cut off, that maybe don't know. Who here is unknown and maybe impressed you? Let's start with you, James, from yesterday. Was there some new names here?
Well, yeah. I mean, Jonathan Skovsen there. You mentioned Joachim Andersson, who I know we had on a WPT final table in the summer, and Timothy as well. The three players I'm not really that familiar with, and Jeff, these 25Ks you tend to know everyone who's in them. It's the same characters more or less, bar some satellite qualifiers. So yeah, it was good to see. I mean, it's hard not to be impressed with what Timothy did yesterday. Like I say, he was kind of in a tough seat here. Obviously, you were always a bit fortuitous to flop top 2, but played it in the way to kind of get the max. Yeah, I think what's more surprising, Jeff, is that they haven't surprised us in the wrong way. You know, these names you don't necessarily recognize. You're instantly looking for, okay, why are these guys that I don't recognize maybe not necessarily as good as the guys that we will know about? And nothing stood out. They all seem as good as their peers here.
Yeah, it's poker constantly changing, evolving. There's a lot of information out there and a lot of creative stuff happening. I think, again, we say this every time, but it's why it's so fun that you can play tight, you can play aggressive. There's different styles and different spots that are constantly coming up. The game's evolving. There's aggressive styles, there's passive styles, there's some hybrid in between, and it's just fun. It's just a great game, and you don't know, different players play differently on the bubble. People shift gears, and it's just fun to watch, especially when there are some unknowns that kind of come in, and some of the guys that you don't regularly get to see battle, see how they approach. Do they take it? Do they use it to their advantage that they'll probably get away with a little more, or do they just kind of sit back and try to ladder if they satellite in? And we've seen a bit of everything, at least in the broadcast that I've done with you two. I've definitely seen stuff, been really impressed with, and some new names and new sort of stars emerge over, if you will, this quarantine COVID period. I think a lot of people, a lot more poker, a lot more guarantees, a lot more online action, and there are definitely some bigger names that are there, but there's also some new names that we kind of get to know, and we've seen people really break through and have some big results along the way, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, certainly have. It's been a little changes. Jonathan going to win a reasonable sized pot here. I mean, every pot's useful, but some of these guys pretty short stacked. And as he does, I'm just going to say welcome to everyone in the chat. I see it's starting to fill in. Thanks all for joining us. I see some of the regs in there, and I see a couple of questions about the free roll. We do have our free roll later this evening. It kicks off in 2 hours. We're giving the password out in a little bit. Let me tell you that we're going to give away 2 of those $320 Powerfest tickets, and we're giving away $500 in cash, and that's on top of all our usual giveaways that I'll get to in a little bit. And Henry's not allowed to win any of it, guys. We've done it again. We've rigged it. He's not getting anywhere near any tickets. No, nothing.
I just kind of listened to what Jeff was saying there about this, pandemic, if you will, and everything having to shift over. It's hit the nail on the head, man. I think this year, as bad as it's been, obviously on like a global scale, for poker, I'm excited for the future, Jeff. I couldn't agree more, man. I think live poker, when it returns, is going to be booming. We've got new people to root for now, because we've had so many real name WPTs and high rollers that we're now getting to learn the names of the real people behind the screen names. And I think adding that human element to it really makes it easy to root for some of these guys. So yeah, I mean, not necessarily something you always get on the live scene, because someone busts out and you don't see them again on a live feature table for a year. But at least here we've got pretty much the same pool of players showing up for all of these 10Ks, 25Ks, and yeah, man, it's been a fun year. It's been a very fun year watching these guys, and hopefully, they're going to be sticking around, in the future as well.
Yeah, no, I think, and also there's really just no excuses at this point too for, oh, look at this, we get an all in a call, and King Jack suited is really pretty hands here, actually 5-handed. There's a pair, we see an open fold, we see a jam for a7, Queen 9 suited, pretty hand, can't really call. King Jack suited, I think you could go either way, especially with that stack, and then Queen Jack suited also, it's a really pretty hand here, but this is we're seeing a lot of this is definitely a nice dealt in 5-way. And look at that. No, is it a sweat? No sweat. Still some chips behind, but a really nice flop. And King Jack suited hates to see that, just knowing they're probably in really bad shape.
Jeff, you say this, you say no sweat. There's always a sweat here. Come on, man. We got We've got 60% of a royal.
I see those Queen 9 spades gone though. I just feel like
that's it.
Yeah, look at that. You got to pay attention. The 3 of spades too. It's just I don't know. I just thought maybe that would be it. But you're right. So nice double there, and I think there's this is one of those things where the pay jumps they start getting bigger down the stretch. But 480 up top, 300 for second, third 194, and if it's ever time to go for it, you get down to 11. The difference between let's take 8th, 11th. It's really not much. Even 7th, 69K to 54K. So you're talking about less than a buy-in for the jumps here, and going to see players maybe kind of push the limit, try to get back in it that are behind, and take some open, a little wider shoves and calls most likely here.
Yeah, certainly will. And like I say, I mean, you had a whole host of guys coming in here with sub 20 bigs at the start of the day. So it's not
what do you mean sub 20, James? It's like what's going on? I mean, this is crazy. We're on the FP bubble.
The blinds have just gone up, right? We're going to 10K, 20K now, so it's a sizable jump on top of that. So
this is crazy, man. Like we're playing for 480K, and this is, bless RNGesus, pray for top 10% of hands, for a couple of orbits in a row, and hold, because you've got sub 10 big blinds. Matthias Eibinger is 7 bigs, Joao Vieira 12 bigs, Joachim 11 bigs. This is madness. Could be a quick day in the office, boys.
Yeah, Ole Schemion lurking around too. He's in the mix, all-time great. Young guy, big results, big names. Andras Nemeth as well. Some really big-time players in here. But there are, I would say, for the final down the stretch in a major 25K, there's much less firepower than I normally would see here. Just in terms of name strength, I would say there's a few other, pound for pound. Not saying these guys aren't good or not. I just don't really recognize much is cool.
What's remarkable, Jeff, is we didn't see that many new faces in this event, or I didn't notice them last night. But so quite a few have made it down to the final 10, which is nice to see as well, because it's not a close shop. Of course, the 25K is on party, but you guys watching, it's generally the same players in the mix, and occasionally we get like one sort of standout. Maybe they want a satellite, maybe they're on a bit of a heater, they decide to give it a go. But tonight we're definitely seeing some fresher faces.
That's a great point, James. I want to say it was Joachim that we saw early on yesterday at the start. And, when we get so used to watching the likes of Makita, Timo, all of these guys that are playing on a regular basis, and someone new does come along. And we had some unorthodox plays yesterday, right? There's some street poker being played, and it was interesting to watch the guys that we see week in, week out, having to adjust to some of these new play styles. And Joachim's managed to wiggle his way through all the way down to the final 10. So let's see if he can go the distance in this one.
Yeah, also seeing a jam there with King 5 off from Timothy Neuter, understanding the significance where they're at, what's going on, and that no one really wants to call a flight and decides just to pile it in there. Going for it, and obviously big difference in chips stacks there, so he's not risking too much, but still, you give him credit for just ripping it in and keeping the pressure on and building a stack at this juncture of the tournament. So it shows that he's been going for it, and no wonder he's got such a big chip stack. Guys making moves and picking up uncontested pots.
Yeah, it's a dreamy scenario, isn't it? On this table, having so many more chips than the rest, or at least sat to the left of Jonathan whilst having this many chips, is going to give him quite an advantage with 10 left. Obviously, we'll be down to the final table fairly quickly, one would imagine. As Jeff says, the pay jump's not too big. And it's going to come down to the old hidden luck in poker. Who gets what seat on the final table? Who's picking up chips at the other table as well? We don't know. I know Nemeth was obviously starting the day as the leader over there, but it may have changed. Just who's going to draw what seat?
Who's going to draw what seat?
So Sarah asking, final table of 7 or 8 is final table of 7. Always going to be odd numbers, my man. Odd number final tables. We're big fans of that. I'm a big fan of that. Had that argument for too long. And, balanced final table bubbles. Not a lot cooking over here, though. Jeff, what's I see the guys in the chat asking you're lining up a WPT soon. I think There's one coming your way, isn't there?
Ooh.
Yeah, there's one at the Hard Rock that's not too far, and that's one I've liked and had some success in. So that's their last numbers were very big. I think they got like third largest ever. It was like 1,600. So who knows? This one may break the all-time record. People are obviously ready to go, and there's vaccines around. And I think that was back in, I forget, was it February or I don't know, a few months ago. So who knows? I think it's going to be a big one. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get in there. Maybe rusty vlog camera, get it out, see if it still works. Got everyone to try to put up a live vlog. And actually, funny enough, the last tournament I played was at the Hard Rock, and not to tell bad beat stories, but I like 4 off the money to aces all in pre to kings and lost. So that was a little salty. So I feel like getting back in there. Of course, that's the thing about poker, right? It's like it's not like I had 100 blinds. I was short, but I still got it in good and got out. So yeah, I'm ready to get back and give it a go. That's one of the better venues, I think, the World Poker Tour. They got the new Hard Rock there, the $1.5 billion hotel, the guitar. So it's a fun one. So it should be good.
And you get aces into kings, your opponent spikes a king, and you go and walk on the beach and blow off some steam.
Right. Yeah. No, it could be. It was worse places. It was also Mr. Mr. Massey as well. So that's a nice guy. It's always nice when it's someone And again, it is those hands play themselves. That's again the biggest thing I like to talk about is in poker. You talk about the last hand. I think one of these whole cards up, especially not just final table. We get to see here on the secondary final table, or I'm sorry, just before we hit the final table, also day one, which is something really nice. That there's been coverage of this and a lot of the high stakes, seeing some of the best players in the world. You really want to focus on not your last hand. You want to focus on the pots leading up to that, because that's ultimately where the game is won and lost. A small blind, big blind, when you have 20, 30, 40, 50 blinds, how are you playing? Not when you get aces, kings, ace, king, pocket queens, lose eights to ace, jack suited when you have 15, 20 blinds. Like, those are pretty standard spots. You want to find ways to build your stack, be the one putting pressure on. You want to be Timothy Neuter here, right? You want to you want to be that guy, and I think that's one of the things that amateurs. I don't even like using that word, but people that play less poker, it's so easy to go and talk about, I got bad beat or this and that, but like really it's math, really it's a lot of other spots, and the best players in the world are constantly picking up pots that you're not picking up. They're picking up, they're winning pots, they're building their stack, and then when they do get cooler or do lose a flip, they still are healthy or still in the game. And that's something I think that all of us players, whether we're beginners, amateurs, semi-pro, pros, that's something that the players are constantly working at it and trying to get better, is finding places to pick up pots and win chips where you may not think that you are, you want to try to find spots that aren't obvious, is the way I'll leave that. So pay attention. These pots may look seamless. Well, here we got Jonathan in there with queen deuce off. Are you limping that hand? Is that a play that, because of his stack size, the other guy's stack size, the juncture of the tournament, try to piece stuff together, try to think about it. And if it's something that may look not right, there's a good chance a guy playing 25K has a pretty good idea what he's doing, and you may want to think about that and ask questions to your peers, to people on Twitch, to friends, others. Take a look and think, why are they doing that? Why am I not doing that? And why? How can I sort of try to learn why they're how to implement that into my game? So I think that's a really important part, and one of the real benefits of watching these type of streams is to learn and get some information from some of the best.
100%, man, 100%. Like I think this is the first year that we've ever had the opportunity to have a sneak peek at from level 1, right, James? Like, we're here
certainly
at the beginning.
We've seen it, at live events for sure, but no, never online have we had this sort of access. What we're seeing is, as Jeff says, if these guys who are playing 25Ks are doing it, they're probably playing poker to a better level than you. So it's worth looking at what they're doing. Now, is everything going to be translatable to your $55 freeze out? No, but it's a good idea to understand the concepts and the thought process, and you can kind of reverse engineer maybe what you're seeing and try to understand the strategy why, and then implement that in other situations. So it's not even just about the specific situations, like Jeff mentioned, they're blind on blind, what kind of bad hands I limp with, but where else can I use that information? What else can I do that for? And it's free, guys. You get to watch this for free. We're putting it on. Not only that, we're giving out tickets, giving out free rolls, giving out the lot. What more could you possibly ask for?
Yeah, I know everyone learns differently and absorbs information differently, but I've definitely been the type of player that absorbs more information when I can visualize concepts being implemented, like we have here.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Of course, this is a lot of fun as well. Getting dealt the aces on the button. Eibinger 5 blinds, Queen 10 in the 1.
Is this GG?
Jonathan with King Queen.
This could be GG.
Were we expecting Henry a jam here call from Jonathan?
Yeah, the rich get richer, boys. I mean, no need to do anything other than call. And then obviously get out of the way when it does inevitably come over the top. Never love it when Joachim or Joao Vieira go with their hand, but Yeah.
Jeff, what a spot this is, eh? You're the chip leader on the table, sitting there, got the boots on the button, and see this action in front of you.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. A little bit of a decision here, how to play it. Do you want to, you can't really do too much wrong. You got a massive stack advantage on everyone. You could get cute. You could just rip it, and I actually like that rip versus making it, 200 or 180 or something. It just looks so much stronger. So in this spot, you could think Jonathan could flat queens or kings or something as well, I guess either way, I just think it looks weaker what he's doing, and maybe doesn't really have a re-raise off of that stack size and that flat. So interesting, but obviously queen king off, I think going to be something that Jonathan can get away from. He hates to see that, right? That's literally the only guy, I guess it would be annoying if Sven shoved as well, because he would be potentially having to call off a lot and not be in good shape. So either way though, he's going to get away from this, and Matthias is going to be in big trouble.
And in big trouble he is. Diff up a 10, but no more. Nutter with the pickup down to 10. Everyone now guaranteed 60k.
Yeah, that's pretty insane, the amount of chips Timothy has at the moment with 9 left. There's only 6.4 million chips in play. So quarter of the chips. He's loving life right now.
Just gets to start ripping. Have some of this. Deepest person is 25 bigs. We're on a final table bubble. Just start ripping them in. Obviously 4's more than reasonable. But you can do this with far more hands than you usually would be able to.
Did you guys look him up? Does he have some live experience? Timothy Nutter? Do we have a Nutter? Is there much info on him? I'm not familiar with him, but man, he's got quite a lead here.
Yeah, he where is it? At it here. He most of his caches, even on the Hender mob, were like kind of online caches, online at the World Series of Poker. I think his last 3 sort of Hender mob entries were World Series of Poker, like back in 2019. He got third in the 2018 WSOP online high roller. So yeah, like
he has cashed the main event twice.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem to play a lot, but does play the World Series, which always, Jeff, makes me think maybe a kind of a higher stakes cash player, maybe blows in, maybe just plays online, and hence the sort of online cash at the World Series of Poker and not the other stuff. But who knows? I was wondering maybe if you knew him. I gather he's from Chicago, I think, but not a name I'd heard before yesterday.
I recognize the name, but I'm not sure from where. Like, I want to say online cash, James, but
right. It seems to add up that way, doesn't it? It strikes me as a sort of profile of. I find it hard to believe that I wouldn't have heard of him before now if that wasn't the case, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know where though. Like, where would I have played cash with this guy?
How's it been going, Henry? You been playing some PLO? You still rounding the world, or are you back in a one location? What's your current situation?
Still in Vegas, man. Still grinding cash. And obviously, like, occasionally flicking in some of the great value tournaments. But yeah, probably, have to leave in the next 4 weeks or so. So yeah, next time we do commentary, man, I'll probably be on the other side of the world. Who knows?
Nice.
Yeah,
I've been playing more live, just like kind of live PLO. PLO's been on my brain lately. I'm rusty in No Limit, man. No Limit live or No Limit tournaments. This is kind of my longest pause of doing that. So I don't know. PLO. I'm just convinced there's going to be a PLO circuit. Like, I'm just waiting for it feels like they missed the opportunity when it was just going to take over completely. But I just think, like, with a little tweaking, maybe the antes more aggressive or a little more gamble in the PLO tournaments, it just seems right that those are going to be more popular. But I don't know. I know your vote, Henry. You would like to see that. Would you play more tournaments if that was the case?
More PLO comps? I don't know. I don't think so, man. It's just a characteristical flaw in myself, just patience-wise. I just don't. I like the fact that if someone stacks me, I can just rebuy in a cash game. You know, give them a couple of hours, and I've probably got their chips. In a tournament, you don't even get put in the same table. You know, then you bust, and you get moved to a different table. So I don't know.
I mean, it's just, I guess it's different. It's just different. I think I think the perfect mix is a player that's a cash game player by definition, and then they mix in some tournaments, because it's nice to have that spice where you could hit a major score. You want to keep it kind of fresh, and I think no matter what you're doing, if it's tournaments or cash, it's good to have a little blend of both.
Right.
You realize that maybe you're not going to be an expert in the other sector, but it's just kind of fun. Keeps it different. You know?
The key, the key there, Jeff, I think is the biggest advantage of that is it definitely helps to combat burnout. You get a little bit sick to death, or you start getting in a rut playing one kind of game. If you've got another feather in the boat, switch it up, go over there. It will feel fresh, even though you're ultimately playing poker. But you can definitely get a break while still playing poker. So if that's something you rely on as a living or a part of your living, then it's a great situation to be able to still earn, as it were. I know in the past, Jeff, I've been guilty eons back when I was just playing online MTTs. That's all I would play, and it's like, if I could have dabbled in some other stuff, it would have perhaps I would have maybe taken more breaks when I should have done, rather than just like battling on through some like bad runs where you start to sink into bad habits and stuff.
For sure. No, I agree.
That's a great point, by the way, about burnout. That's very true. There's nothing like, you know, being a cash game player, but then preparing for the morning of a large MTT and the night before with a group of friends, you know, swapping, you know, 2%, 3%, whatever it is. And just going and play a completely different format. That's a great point.
Yeah, it doesn't have to necessarily be big either. You can just go and almost, you know, just as a break, go and play. If you're a cash game player, just go and play a smaller tournament. Just enjoy it.
I'm looking forward to seeing Jeff's rusty vlog come out, a vlog cam come out potentially for this WPT. We miss you at the encore, man. We do miss you. You know, you're walking around with the little vlog cam.
It's been a while though. I gotta tell you, it's a bit different now with being a father, a husband, and you know, I just tell people my biggest advice to those out there that are living like you, Henry. You know, that are going around the world doing your thing. Enjoy it, because it's just one of those things. Like now, you know, I don't really ever just like pop into a fun game or something. Like, no, I don't want to say that, but I just don't really just like go randomly play poker. You know, it's like that part of my career. I say that about soccer too. I grew up like once I got to college, I didn't really get to play. I kind of lost the fun. You just don't know when sort of things change, right? Whatever it is you're doing. Like for me, playing soccer at like the club level and traveling and all that was like the most fun. And then in poker, you know, the most fun, even though I love doing this kind of stuff, I love doing vlogs, I love doing, you know, these type of things. It's just like the actual like process of building a bankroll, of the unknown, of, you know, the times like in random parts of the world, or having, with friends and doing stuff like that's really just stuff you'll never forget, and it's just different, right? And I mean, I always think like too, later maybe it'll be like I'll be 50 or 55, my kids, or no, my one kid and maybe more, right? Like if I eventually have more kids, they'll be graduated. Maybe I'll go back on whatever that is. Maybe it will be the PLO World Series of Poker main event or something else. Like, because you kind of see that in poker, right? There's like a wave. Like guys kind of like get out of it a little bit once they get kids and whatnot, and then you kind of see the guys that are like businessmen or older. They like kind of flick about or come on tour and go around, and that's pretty fun too. But I think it's just important to know there's like waves of life, and don't take it for granted. Those stops, those tours, those opportunities to go travel with friends.
You never know what's gonna be your last game, man. You got to just
damn guys, you're like,
man, that's heavy. That was a heavy way to put it.
Hey guys, we got Joachim just doubled up there, obviously flipping this straight, and it looks like Joao Vieira, I'm guessing, is gonna make a stand here. No, okay, yeah, with the ICM spots. What am I talking about? Thinking he's gonna call off King 4. I mean, it was close, right, Henry? It wasn't a massive fold.
Yeah, you're not crazy in thinking that. But so even though Joao Vieira's call would only be for 5 big blinds effective, what you do have to take consideration is that Timothy's jam is actually 20 big blinds effective. So you're looking at a 20 big blind effective jamming range. So King 4 all of a sudden doesn't look as good as if it was just blind versus blind for, I think it was 5.5 big blinds at the time. So
wow, look at this, blinds going up once more. Joao down to just 3 bigs. The shortest here, 9 left. We'll see the pay jump would be at 7, I believe. So not even on a pay jump bubble just yet.
Yeah, this is pretty insane for Timothy. Just gets to bulldoze Joachim here. I would actually go slightly bigger than this, but I guess 3x works as well. Yeah, Jeff Gross dropping some knowledge bombs, man. Jeez. You're scaring me though, man. You're scaring me. It's like I'm going to get a phone call. It's like, well, we've got a kid on the way. No more poker. It's just like, geez, Jeff was right.
No, it's not even that.
Jeff was right.
It's not even like, it's more like waves though. It's not even like no more poker. It's just no more just sort of like randomly like going on a random day, like it's more planned, or you have like a set game, or it's just like more serious, where before it's just like, when you're in Vegas or roaming about, it's just like, all right, what do you wake up? And it's like, all right, I'm going to go play poker today, or I'm not. But now it's kind of like, all right, I do a game or go to a game, or once in a while, or it's like schedule. It's just more like similar, like I'm saying about soccer or college, right? Like it was like more serious, more work, or just less like, free and just random and fun and experiential. It just becomes more, again, like maybe it'll kind of revert back as they get a little older and things get, during like, I think like a 0 to 3, 4-year-old during kids stuff, it's just different, right? Like you're working, you're learning about kids, you're learning about what works, what doesn't, you're getting schedules done. Can't really travel with them as easily. Like it's just a different period of time. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all. Don't freak out. It's still good. Listen, I'm still playing. I'll still hit some tours. I'm going to go on the party live stops, and it's just a different vibe. That's all I was trying to say. Don't panic, man. I saw you get a little worried. James knows what I'm talking about too, man. You just, it's like you don't know when you're going to be like playing full time, and then when you just like kind of get into some other stuff or don't, and it's you just, I think you said it best. It was heavy, but just enjoy it, and you don't know when sort of your last regular or COVID happens, right? Like the world stuff happens. Like, oh, I'm playing live every day, and then you're just not for a while. So enjoy it. Play your best.
Speaking of enjoying it, Joao Vieira is going to enjoy this at first when he sees the cards, but he is going to need to hold on here to avoid elimination. Has made a stand with his 2 blinds. And Jonathan with a decision here, I guess, for 1 blind more. It does flick it in. Kind of, it's going to play pretty honest post-flop, right? I mean, there's no value in Timothy bluffing here.
Yeah.
And flop 2 pair. There we go. I guess, do we just... Okay, he's going to check it. I wasn't sure if... Henry, did we just get to just, bomb this when we flop bottom 2 here? Is there any... We're not going to extract any bluffs, are we?
I think there's more merit to check jamming, because Timothy is going to have some bet folds. So we just print, an additional 2 big blinds by check jamming rather than, just like bombing ourselves. Interesting turn card, obviously, for Jonathan here.
Yeah, I mean, Joao picking up nut, diamonds, and a gut shot. Timothy picking up the open ender, but the 2 pair still is best, and I assume this checks through once more. Joao screaming for a blue one, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Must be nice.
Timothy's life is pretty
Timothy,
good.
How's it going over there?
Chip leader, making the runner on a straight. And this will be the end of Joao Vieira, guys. He's gone.
Yeah, not only that, but pretty frustrating. I mean, you flop bottom 2, and that's not an insignificant pot. The 155K to his stack, 270. I mean, that's pretty big to not pick up, and got to be a little. You know, he's frustrated, I'm sure, at this run out, and he's going to get the bad news. But yeah, I don't know. Once that turn peels off, I guess it's just kind of frustrating. Like you said, to get that check jam would have been perfect, but as it plays out, he is going to not win this pot, and even have to make a little bit of a decision here on the river.
Right. I mean, to beat something here, we're expected to see like a really thin bet with 1 pair to try and make Jonathan fold something better, and then beat Joao for the showdown. It doesn't. He does flick it in. It doesn't seem too likely, but maybe almost even a hint of like frustration. Well, I flopped a 2 pair in this spot. My main man, the chip leaders, now bet the river. So we do lose Joao Vieira in 9th, which means we are down to the final 8. And I believe we're just going to switch up tables here. So we've got 2 tables of 4. We saw those guys. Of course, it is a final table of 7. So we do still need to lose 1 more player. And
oh, wow.
Here we go over here. Nemeth's lost some chips. Gieles back over 1 million. But look at this, Markus with 1.7 million. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to see Ole Schemion at risk first hand on this table.
I mean, this final table could be over in like 90 minutes, the way the chips are spread out. Or, well, at least not over, but heads up in 90 minutes sounds like a real thing. It's
going to start shallow and get deep. Markus rips the 7-8 from the small, flops a gut shot, rivers it, bang. Ole Schemion, see you later. Also busting out, and that means we are set for our final table. And on that note, we are going to take a short break. So guys, please don't go far. Myself, Henry, and Jeff will be back for the Powerfest Super High Roller final table. As you can see, it's 34% equity. Would not be a bad spot to get it in at all. As it is, Sai at risk against Mark. Sai needs a 5 or spades here. King 9 deuce. Well, that pretty much seals it. Well, wait a minute. 4 on the turn, 3 on the river. Runner straight. King 9 deuce. Sai needed perfect, and he found it. And the 3-4 run out.
He'll make the call. Here we go.
8 call.
Will they trade chips back and forth? Or will Romain Lewis get him again? Keem in good shape. Aces against 8s. Can the aces hold? Unlike his kings earlier.
The 9-8 suited would have been 22% against this.
Welcome 6-5 deuce. Backdoor straight draws. Backdoor flush draws for Romain. Turn card 5. Needs an 8 and an 8 only to bust Hakeem. River card. Oh, it's an 8!
No way. Oh my god, so unlucky.
Hakim loses with kings against Romaine's 9-8 suited, then loses with aces against Romaine's 8s.
Here we have Parker all in with king, queen of hearts, and he's in terrible shape against the pocket kings of David. Oh, queen, 8 deuce, 1 heart, Tyler.
He's halfway there.
There's a chance. I'll take that.
Just one more heart, you know? No.
Oh, just a queen then. Oh, Parker will be the next man out.
Unbelievable.
It is a queen. Okay. It is a queen. Parker Talbot, king, queen against kings, rivers, chip, trip, queens.
2 outs, so what? Saying they say in baseball.
Shouldn't have talked into drinking that.
Oh, you did double up, but still need 12 big blinds, Tyler.
We need a waitress. Excuse me?
She's not going to get you the drink in time, Talbot.
You want one?
No, but you know, I'll get a...
Scott
All in.
does make the move, all in. Scott, double check his cards, and cool. And we're playing a monster pot here. Scott with just 9 million more than Danny. 800 million chip pot. The largest pot of the tournament. Over half the chips in play are in this pot. Well, whoever wins this pot is effectively playing Romeo heads up. Scott with just about a blind behind. 5, 5, 8. Wouldn't you know it? We got a split chance. Just got to bluff through against Scott. Well, that is a bad card for him. Scott has the nut flush draw now, so 10 of hearts not going out. He's putting the jacket on. 8 or deuce would still be good for a chop. Needs 10 of diamonds or 10 of clubs for the win. 10 on the end. Wow. That is disgusting. Romeo's face says it all. That is filthy, filthy luck. Welcome back, everybody. It's final table time in the Powerfest Super High Roller. Myself and Jeff will be calling the action as well. Jeff, let's see the all-important seat draw. Let's see what all the computers thrown up. Well, throwing up 6 seats. So we've it looks like Timothy's sent another to the rail. Trying to see who's missing. I mean, it seems we've got, Timothy and Marcus sat next to each other. And then we've got 3 shorter stacks to the right.
Yeah, Jonathan's going to be in bad shape here if he gets called for this. He does from Timothy. And we also, look at this. So Queen 4 to Jack Queen suited. And
there we go.
Spikes of 4 for life. Trying to keep us along here a little bit more than we were thinking. So an early double there. Jonathan gets it in. Behind in the first little bit of adversity for Timothy there, getting it in, dominating and not holding up there, but still a very comfortable stack and lead.
Yeah, 82k Jeff locked up at the moment. I believe fifth is just over 100. Starting to get some meaty pay jumps. But with all that said, you know, Jonathan was the shortest. What was it, Jeff? You say risk premium. That's your beautiful saying that I love it when you say it. He had the incentive to gamble.
For sure. And also, you know, looking here at some of the names, we see looking down from, let's just take 14th on, Timothy Adams going out just for the money, Stephen Chidwick also just bubbling, and then you see Sami Kelopuro going out in the money, and then also Rui Ferreira, Matthias Eibinger, Joao Vieira in 8th, Ole Schemion in 7th. I mean, that is quite an all-star lineup of guys that have been removed from the tournament. You look at some of the names left, and again, not that these guys can't play, but Andras Nemeth definitely regarded as one of the best in the world. And then if you kind of look around, other than that, I mean, if you're tuning in, you may not have heard of many of these guys. I think Luuk, is it Gieles or Giles? I've seen his name around, and I think he's a pretty strong reg, if you will, if I'm not mistaken. And then maybe there's another one in there that I'm missing that's the more regular. But honestly, these guys are not one of the powerful names that you would note, and that's cool. It's great to see. I mean, these are some really wide open, it looks like, in terms of at least notoriety at this table. So someone's going to come home with probably a record score for themselves, as long as it's not Andras Nemeth who ends up figuring it out here with these 6. I think this is likely going to be some personal bests.
Yeah, right. I think you're right. And they're not necessarily alien from playing for this sort of money. Like take Markus, for example, 1.6 million here, known as a high stakes cash game player, Jeff. So obviously, just giving the tournaments a spin, jump in, make the final of the 25k. But it's not like he's going to be scared of the money situation. It looks like we've got Henry ready to jump back in the mix as well. We're losing players at a rate. We don't want to start losing commentators as well.
What happened? I was like, I'm going to come back just in time for final table, 7 players, and there's only 6 left.
Yeah, and Jonathan's already doubled up. He doubled up through Timothy. Wow. But Henry was sort of looking. He got the stacks kind of sat in one corner of the table, the short stacks the other. It's a bit weird calling Andras Nemeth a short stack with the way things were going last night, but he's certainly of that ilk now. Although still with plenty of chips, guys. Now that Jonathan's doubled up, everyone's reasonably deep. Not as quick as it was at the start this evening when we came out with 11 players.
There's what, not even 300 bigs in play. 250 bigs. So what, average stack around about 45. You got Timothy and Markus with half the chips between them.
Yeah, it's a nice scenario.
I mean, if you're Timothy, you get a little bit of a rocky start to this final table. I mean, it's every pot's important. Knock a player out, get a pay jump, separate your lead. Instead, you lose a pot, dominating, and now the 2 sort of bigger stacks on your direct left. So if you could kind of dream up a scenario for that final table, not the best start, but again, chip leader, 6 left, big money up top, still a great position. Just a little bit of a if he could have redone the seat draw, I'm sure he would have had different order, and then having a first pot not go your way, especially when you have the best hand, dominating, is a little frustrating. But see if he can sort it out and get back in his groove.
It looks like it was a small one, but maybe that's me being a bit results oriented.
Who comes up with these passwords, Henry? Was this your doing? Was this your doing at the top of the screen there? Guys, passwords out. Look at the top. Power Rangers. It is the Powerfest, of course. We're giving away some Powerfest tickets. Head on over to Party. The tournament starts in an hour and a half. So you've got 90 minutes to reg. Although you've got, of course, an hour plus of late reg in that event. But head on over. Click reg. Password Power Rangers. I'm doing it. I'm getting in. I'm not missing out on this, guys. In. We're giving away, let's have a look here, two of those Powerfest $320 tickets, and of course $500 in cash.
I thought you were the one that normally comes up with the passwords, James. Am I? No?
No, they don't let me after I can't remember the last one. I think it was like James Dempsey is the greatest, and they were like, come on, this is getting silly now.
Okay.
Yeah, they put me on the ban.
Now fast good position of Naza, busted in 8th, I believe, on the FT bubble. 8th or 9th. Him and Ole Schemion were kind of all in at the same time. But yeah, final table bubble for Naza. But have no fear. It's going to be a long month. April always is. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of Naza on our screens during the Powerfest.
Tough spot here for Jonathan with a weak top pair. I really don't see how he can continue. I mean, there's so many bad river cards, and could already be dead. And nice bet there to get off the chop from Markus. And just don't see anything else that Jonathan could do there.
Power of position. Power of the hijack opening range versus the big blind defending range. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, big lot working for him there. And Markus now going to go for it, attacking Timothy, who's in the big blind. He's going to be opening that spot pretty wide. 8-9 suited, definitely one that he's going to go for. And we do see a call and defend from Timothy. So let's see what happens here. Again, pretty good flop from Markus. He's got the lead. This board's a bit disconnected, rainbow board, and expect him to continuation bet. And you know, this is one of those spots where 8-9 suited's got some back doors, 9 high, just a good spot to go for a bet. Hope to take it down and potentially turn some equity if you get called. Let's go. I'm hitting that half pot button, pretty consistent. Just bet half pot last hand, bets half pot here. You know, maybe not doing quite as much work on the bet sizings as you mentioned. The cash game background just has that auto set on half and rips it.
Yeah, like Jeff cash games. You know, we don't have these. What are these like 15% pot size bets? We don't have these. It starts at half, boys, and it goes up. It goes up to 3x.
Yeah, all the way up. So nice. He's flirting with that chip lead all of a sudden, and on direct left of Timothy. Man, I'm getting nervous for Timothy. I just feel like this guy is. He's had a pretty dreamy final table, or I'm sorry, dreamy run to get here, and now he's at the final. And you know, I'm rooting for Timothy. I just feel like, feels like his day. He's been doing well, and I've never heard of him, and I hope he does well. Who do you guys know the most here? So I said Luuk Gieles or Giles, Andras Nemeth, obviously we know.
Nemeth,
Sven Joachim sounds familiar too. Has he been Anderson or no? Am I thinking of a different Sven? Maybe it's a different one. I'm not as familiar with this name, but maybe it's another Sven.
Yeah, he came third, I think, in one of the WBTs in the summer. That I was doing commentary on. Not seen him since then.
Yeah, I think no doubt that Mr. Nemeth is the most well known here, and see that 9 high, sure. Ace Queen 6, really not much of a backdoor even there. He just picks it up comfortably, betting, taking down pots, and no stranger. I know that the group is not going to be rooting for him to acquire chips. He is definitely a force, definitely has the most experience, and he's still in striking distance with a pretty healthy 30 blind stack plus. So he's got plenty of play in him.
I've battled my fair share of battles against Nemeth, and even though I think he's definitely come out on top in our battles, he's a tough guy to not root for. He's just an all-round kind of crusher. And well, bit of a cooler here: button versus small blind versus big blind.
Ooh.
Reason being, obviously Timothy opening the button, Markus going to be 3-betting out the small one, and then facing a cold 4, 40 effective, when it's very easy for Luuk to kind of go after Markus here. Although I guess with ICM, Jeff not as likely to kind of step out of line with the cold 4s, even if he does think that there's potentially some foul play at hand. Wow, yeah, just a snap fold.
Snap fold. Talk about recognition of a situation, man. Shout out to Ace Queen just getting binned snap though. That man just gave it away.
He's got the spreadsheet out, man.
Yeah.
He's got the spreadsheet out.
Ace Queen hasn't got a lot of reps today, to be fair. I don't think we've really seen it in action, and there it kind of avoids disaster. So nice fold there from Markus quickly.
Snap fold.
Man. Markus going to pick up where he left off. Going to go for a come into a pot raising. Andras Nemeth with the Jack Queen, likely going to be defending here in this spot. He does, and hello, decent flop. Wow. King 6 off for Markus. I mean, doesn't have much going here. May think his hand's just bad enough to take a shot. try to get some weak ace highs to fold, or some other hands. I mean, king six just doesn't really look good here. But this board also just smashes the big blind defender. It does go for that half pot again. I'm telling you, that's his thing. This guy is consistent. He likes the half pot button. He's using it, and it's worked a few times. This time it's not going to work. He's betting into the actual nutter butters. Gets called, and interesting turn. So king queen now the nuts. Andras, got to feel good about his hand, but he doesn't have the nuts technically. But he's still sitting pretty with this queen high straight. And Markus has a decision now if he wants to kind of follow up, put some pressure on one pair hands. He does have a blocker to king queen. He's a cash game guy. Let's see if he goes with half pot again or slows down. Does have a interesting sizing.
Smaller. Yeah.
Goes for about a third pot, and again, a kind of troubling stack for Andras. So the other guy's shorter, and he's sort of in the middle. It's interesting.
I guess Henry, this kind of goes after some of the like one pair hands that don't have anything else going with them, right? This kind of sizing. Very hard for an MF to continue with like a 9-6, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Just giving yourself a good price on a bluff, obviously. And like I said, targeting some of those one pair hands that are just one and done on the flop.
Gonna go for it here. I mean, he's got a club in his hand. He's got one of the worst hands he could possibly have, and I think he might go for a bet here. Whoa, and Andras has a club. He can't love this, but he does. It goes from like you flop the nuts into not the nuts, but still feeling pretty good, and now the board texture does change. So Markus unloads the clip, and I mean, I think with the club in his hand, I mean, I figure he's got the straight. It just, you don't love it. You got to believe he's going to call, but this is he's not loving the spot. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess he doesn't have to call. I think he's going to call, but he just kind of has a nice hand to call with.
Yeah, I agree.
There it is. Whoa.
Everyone else at the table is like, Markus,
what have you done?
Why?
What have you done is right.
Look what you've created.
Yeah, this could turn really quickly. For that, yeah, man. Andras Nemeth with a beautiful hand. Well played.
The beast. The monster has been fed, Henry. It's growing. Interesting here what Sven's going to do with this ace-6 from the big as the shortest stack guys facing a raise from the chip leader.
Reverse implied odds. Reminds me, Jeff, do you remember that meme of, I think it was Ben CB versus one of his students where Ben's open from like under the gun and his student's in the big blind with ace-6-0, and Ben types in the chat, fish in the big blind, and then his student folds ace-6-0 from the big versus like an EP open, and then goes over to raise your edge and checks Ben's charts to see if ace-6-0 is a defender from the big, and it's not, and he's like, why is he calling me a fish when I'm like folding ace-6-0 from the big?
That's good. I've seen
meme.
A bunch of the content, but I don't know if I remember that one specifically. They have some nice edits though, for sure. Actually, that's where I got risk premium from Ben's stuff. So I got to make a claim, give him a little credit on that. It's a nice term. Sounds.
I love the risk premium term. It's brilliant because it's exactly as it sounds. It's just it encapsulates it perfectly.
Wait, what's this? Risk premium?
Yeah, the risk premium, man.
If you're the shortest stack, you have the lowest risk premium. Like you can take risk because it's not a big deal if you bust, right? If you're at 7 of 6 of 6 and you bust 6, that's okay. If you're 2 or 3 of 6 and you bust, it's a big problem. You got a big risk premium, you know? Henry,
Okay.
Come on, man.
Okay. No, I'm loving this, man. I'm learning as we, the meme game within the poker community is very strong. Shout out to Jan's Errands. He's been crushing the meme game.
I've seen some of his Twitter actions. Nice. Definitely lets it fly.
He's amazing.
Okay, so Andras with some newfound chips. not going to go quite that wide. 7-5 off and ace-6 on the button. Again, kind of tied here as the shortest stack. Ace-6 off, kind of one of those spots where you're kind of like, man, I'm supposed to play it. I don't really want to, but I'm going to go for it. Goes for a raise off a vulnerable stack. And Jonathan not going to mess around here. These are kind of tricky, right? Your Timothy, it's like getting a great price, but the implied odds, there's not a ton there, and I don't know, just kind of one of those ones you don't really, not much else to do but just call, although you don't love it, and pretty good flop for the 8-10 offsuit. Sven is not going to love this board. What do you guys think there? I mean, I think ripping it, or I don't know if you can really fold the ace in that spot, but do you like the rip or the min raise? I mean, min raise looks pretty strong. Both have their merits.
Yeah, I think we're meant to have some raise folds, right? Ace-6-0 is gonna help balance that out, so that when we do have the stronger parts of our range, I think that just like. I don't know how balanced you're meant to be in these spots personally, this isn't something that I've studied, but I've heard a thing or two, through the grapevine that balance is important in No Limit Hold'em. So gonna have some interesting run out for Timothy. Could see him just like get really out of line here and empty the clip. Just go for the river donk.
One of those.
Yeah,
spots,
there it is.
Oh,
wow, snap called.
Man,
Yeah,
that's snap daddy.
that might be a little replay glitch again with the snap. Sometimes throws us some curveballs.
let him look like a boss, man. Sven sorted it out. He knew what he was doing.
You're right.
Think
You're right.
wrong,
Jeff.
think
When they
wrong.
get it right, it's a snap. When they get it wrong, it's the glitch. That's what it is. Forgot.
All right, I reckon Andras has had his coffee now.
Yeah. Well,
Start shifting through the gears.
There's the Powerfest going on. There's series happening. There's a lot of action online. So I'm sure he's got numerous tables going, and he's in the heart of it all right now. So, I'm sure this has got the primary attention right now, playing for 480, 25K buy-in. But you never know. Guys like this, they find action. They're everywhere, and I'd be curious how many tables he plays. That's my most. I always like to ask this question the most, like with players, especially current day. You see, again, Pads. Shout out to our man Pads, who he's got that 43-inch, those 2 screens, and he's firing 50 tables. But like, I wonder what a lot of these guys play during the peak of their sessions, because it gets difficult once you get in that 8, 10, 12 range tables. But I think just these days there's so much good stuff going. There are a lot of players that do push the boundaries on the table allotment.
Yeah,
I've always had trouble with it. I just have trouble playing
a lot.
But
Yeah, I can't do it, mate. Same as
I don't know what it is. I think there must be some tricks that they, like color coordinating. You got here's the problem. You take your vanilla 7 or 8-handed, 9-handed tournaments. Hopefully more 8-handed stuff these days, right? But then when you get in like the 6 max or the turbos or the hypers or PLO or other, like, then it just comes kind of wild, right? Like even like 6-handed PLOs, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then thinking about PLO, and then it's just, the guys that can play like 12, 14, 20, 30 tables, like, man, God bless them. Just bless. It's like, I don't know. James, what was your peak? I think we've talked about this, but what's your sort of like peak that you felt good at? You probably were at a period of time, we've all done it, where we're like out there wrong and we're pushing it, like we're like, oh, I can do this, and you're doing like,
when you got like back in the day and you're grinding on a Sunday in the same room as Mormon, and he's just throwing tables up on, like, he's got one on the microwave, he's got one on the oven, and you're like, I've got to try and raise my game here in front of him. But Sundays I quite often find myself a little overstretched. I don't know, man. Like these guys who like 16 tables, too much for me. Playing tournaments, man, you can't do it. It's too much. I think it's too much. Speaking of other tables there, guys, we do have the free roll coming up. I'll be one tabling that bad boy. It's kicking off in, what, an hour and 10 minutes. Passwords on the screen, but it's not just the free roll money we're giving out tonight, of course. We do our giveaway on the hour every hour. Now, we had a little break before final table, so we're going to skip the upcoming break, but at 9 o'clock we will, at 9 o'clock my time, I should say. So in 10 minutes, we will do a draw for some tickets to be in with a chance of winning one of those tickets. All you have to do is click follow right here on Twitch, and we will give out those $11 tickets to the 10 lucky winners. And no, Henry, you're not getting one.
You sure?
I'm not sure, actually. You never know.
I guarantee, like, it's probably going to be a day that I'm not in the commentary booth with you that end up winning.
No doubt.
Yeah, things have slowed down a little bit here. I mean, we've again, this is just how it goes. We could have seen a bust out really the first moment with Jonathan, doubles up. Then we see some chips get redistributed. It's kind of tightened up a bit. Timothy, Andras Nemeth, Luuk, and Markus all really healthy, and even Sven with 780K. So it's pretty evened out a bit. I mean, again, I don't think we're going to be here all day, but this is definitely, I think if you were to look at the chip distribution and breaking so far, it's definitely gone a little more towards the longer and balanced than the kind of the runaway. And again, that's what's so fun about tournaments. Sometimes you see where stacks are really close. Sometimes you get to see someone super separate themselves. And you know, look at this, Timothy going with, oh yeah, I'm sorry, it's nines. I thought he had 6-9. There you go, 9. So all right, we're gonna see a big flip here, and this will also dictate a little bit of what happens. This could really even up. Actually, essentially flip flop. Nines look. Oh. Just case he missed it on the turn, the river as well. Turn and river, ace and the jack offsuit takes down the powerful nines. And just like that, your chip leader is no longer your chip leader. He is actually basically tied for fourth, if you will.
Wow.
Out of 5, out of 6 left. So, I mean, Timothy, not, again, we mentioned not having the dream start. Yeah, it's, you know.
That's violent. That's huge.
Violent.
Huge spin. Obviously, Joachim with the double up, but had it gone the other way, Timothy would have taken a real stranglehold on this one. But wow, all the chips moving around. We had the kind of the short stacks at the top right of the screen at the start of the final table. Now they're the chip leaders, Nemeth and Joachim, right amongst it.
Yeah, that's man.
What
it happens
what
fast.
Just
Things happen
happened?
fast.
I just caught the back end of that. I glitched for 60 seconds.
Well, you missed a nines ace jack scenario.
What, all in pre or?
Yeah.
Wow.
Line's up 15-30. I mean, it's creeping up.
Sven playing for keeps today. Goes for a big spot there. But again, to kind of probably watching Timothy, definitely going to be opening a little wider. He's going to get folds a fair amount. He's going to be flipping like he was there against 9s, 10s, 8s. And he's going to see bad news once in a while. But, you know, ace jack can make things happen. He did make top 2 pair. Just needed one, an ace or a jack. He got both. And he is very, very healthy at the moment. And Jonathan is the one who's kind of been, just hasn't got anything going. He did get a lucky 4 to double and really hasn't got dealt in after that. So he's still hanging on, our shortest stack by far. And he's going to need to get it moving.
But he's seeing some stuff. Yeah. You're seeing chips move around. You're like, I mean, obviously we love the risk premium, but at the same time, you've got the dynamics of the table, and you're like, hang on, there's some chances here. These guys aren't waiting for me to make a move. They're happy to go.
No, and again, that was a big sweat. Jonathan, by folding, by just kind of going about his business, he did have a shot right there for about a full buy-in, a little over $22,000. So yeah, he was definitely had an interest in that sweat.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Couldn't find the mute button. Sorry about that. Couldn't get there.
Snuck up on you. Nemeth with 2 10s in the big. Crying out for some action. Not going to get much.
I had been battling a little bit of a cold, but kind of felt like I was coming out of it today. I didn't want to call it in. That's a tough, you know, this is the 25K final table. I wanted to see it through. So we'll, yeah, feeling better anyway. But excuse me for the sneeze. Yeah, anyone had vaccines out there? Have you guys got it? Are you doing it, or what's your guys' take on that?
Yeah.
Not to get into politics and go down that rabbit hole.
Only in America could a vaccine be in any way connected to politics.
What do you mean? That's not true. I've been speaking to my mum back home, and it seems to be all politics as well.
It divides households. I mean, I don't want to get into it, but I've seen some crazy stuff, man. You know, it's like there's church. What is it? Religion, church, who you vote for. There's some really strong takes. At least I don't know. I don't want to say America or not or where, but I just I've seen it. It's like it's some serious discrepancies in a lot of households. I know that's for sure. I don't know necessarily, maybe more so in America, but a lot of conspiracy theories. There's a lot of crazy stuff.
Oh boy, money's going in, boys.
Ace
ICM
King,
exists.
Jacks. Nemeth's going to get in the middle of this as well, isn't he? He's going to cause some damage. He's going to do something.
ICM exists. No, ICM's a myth. This is going in. Who cares that Jonathan's got 10 big blinds?
All right, Jonathan's just going to see more carnage once again.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, front row seat. He's looking to see this. He wants to see these flips take place, not with him involved. And Andras with a flat, and Sven definitely going to be checking the temperature, taking it upstairs. Does go for a healthy raise.
Yeah,
it's under 5x.
Here we go. We're going to see a 2 million plus pop. Biggest of the evening, biggest of the tournament. I mean, Henry, nearly a third of the chips in play are going to be in this pot with 6 players left.
Yeah, if Joachim can find an ace, a king, or some diamonds here, he's going to have over a third of the chips in play, 5 left. Be in a great spot as well, because obviously Jonathan sat on 10 big blinds. He could really just go after Markus and Timothy.
Yeah, I think there's not much other option. We did some of the final tables. We've seen some flats in spots like this, but not here. It does just go for it. Can't blame him. 6-handed. He has the best hand, matter of fact. And Sven, though, for value with ace king suited, going to be not probably loving this all of a sudden, but realizing I don't think he had an intention to raise fold. And there it is. Boom. King.
Boom. Oh.
But man, just like that, Luuk going to go down, and we see Jonathan going to be very happy. Unlucky.
Yeah,
or Mr. Giles, who going to go out in 6th place, but look at that, a little jump in the 6-figure club.
Yeah, for 6th for 82. Everyone now guaranteed 6 figures, and what a spin for Joachim! Double, bang, bang. 2.8 million, nearly half of the chips in play with 5 left. Wow.
King high flop, eh? Some people.
And here he goes, exercising his right. Gonna go ahead and just rip it. It's 23 blinds, I believe, effective on the big blind, but he realizes right now he's got a powerful spot, and he is not going to get called off light here by Timothy.
Yeah, he's going to do the same thing again this century with 2 6s.
I think he may, yeah. Why not?
Wow, what a spot this is to be. This is what happens on these final tables. Like I say, Andras Nemeth and Joachim Andersson at the top of the screen there. They were the 2 of the 3 short stacks along with Jonathan, and now they've got all the toys, they've got all the gold, all the tokens. If we want to cut it up, they're looking pretty. And Nemeth, like, really, this is the guy that's on my left. It couldn't swap seats, you know. He's just gonna have to. Even Nemeth's gonna have to play pretty snug, right, Henry? Even he's gonna have to cage the beast a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, 60 big blinds effective against Joachim. It's really difficult to bust, even though you can overbet in the great game of No Limit Hold'em. Joachim can't be as liberal in the sense that he can't just go ape styles on Nemeth. If Nemeth was sat on like 25, 30 bigs, certainly apply a lot more pressure. But yeah, man, this is a fun one. I don't think Nemeth is overly worried at the moment.
Interesting. Timothy decides to just rip for 22 blinds here. That kind of struck me as one of those situations, Henry, where you more often see like bet. If you're going to rip, bet like half the stack in case it goes all in behind. But he likes just to fire the whole lot in.
Potentially get some better hands to fold as well. So was it ace 9-0? Get some ace Ace 10 O's, Ace Jack O's to fold. Yeah, fun spot. Fun spot. Everyone guaranteed 105k or just shy of 105k.
Yeah. Near enough, Henry. We're going to let them off with the $4.
Wow,
if they want to tell their friends I
boys.
cashed for 105, I'm going to let them tell them their friends they cashed for 105.
Yeah, that's good. Call it good's good.
Oh, hello. Hello. Marcus, Jonathan, going to get this one in. Ace, King, B9s. Jonathan, like, finally found it, guys. I found it. Oh, I'm in a flip.
Yeah, it's a powerful hand, but yeah, two big overcards. Ace King looking strong. He's gonna go. I think again here, he's got. Let's see. Well, he'll raise, and yeah, I think that's it. That's just gonna get in.
Does he just rip?
Just rips
Yeah,
He does. Yeah, I was about to say. With Jonathan being sub 10.
Rip and flop a king. It's the theme of the evening. The king high flops. Jonathan out in 5th, picking up that 105k we mentioned a moment ago. Marcus back up to just shy of 1,000,000 chips. And just like that, we're four-handed, guys. We're racing through it.
And then there were 4.
And he's got the butchers. Very next hand. Guys, you've got a minute till we do this draw. All you have to do, be with a chance of winning one of these tickets, is click follow on Twitch. Do it quick. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, Queen Jack off. Everyone with a little something. Queen Jack, King 8 off. Not quite enough to come in. The Ace 3 in the small blind. I'm sorry. Oh wait, is this? Oh no, it's small blind, big blind. Okay, so never mind. I thought this was a min raise, but yeah.
Yeah, it is a min raise. It's a no big, but no. We lost the big blind, right? So we got just the lone blind. And now, are we going to throw in some traps here, guys, or do we just?
It's a good question. I think what we've learned over the last, few months of railing these guys is we're less inclined to trap when there are huge ICM considerations in play. And obviously having Timothy sat on 22, 23 bigs, it would be a disaster to take this hand out of position against Joachim and bust in 4th, because obviously any hand that Joachim has is going to have equity against our kings, and we want to deny that equity due to the ICM considerations.
Oh, I was going to go for the sneeze there as well, Jeff.
Oh yeah,
Spreading it.
So Jeff, do you reckon you're feeling a bit fluish or a bit of a cold because you've had your first injection, have you? Or
No, I haven't, but I mean I had COVID in like start of January. Haven't got the shot, but I just had I think just a regular cold. Just felt like a little worn down. So late nights, man. You would dig it, Henry. Big PLO cash games and
guys. We got like a what amounts to some action four-handed. Ace 9, and 7s. Button, small, big. I mean, if you want someone to get aggro from the big, we've got the right guy to have the 7s, have we not?
Yeah, depending on what Marcus does, may just put Timothy in. I think this hand is going to be somewhat anti-climactic. Guess we just fold. How deep?
Come on, Henry. Let's rifle it in. Let's put him to it.
Grip it and rip it. Hard to get a pair.
Yeah.
Button, small blind, big blind.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
covering them both.
You get some better hands to fold.
There we go.
Yeah, 8s and 9s to fold.
There's our boy. He doesn't disappoint. Andras Nemeth. He takes poker back to, me and Jeff were just knocking around with this man back in the day, and this is what you used to do, man. You get a pair in the big and the small blind 3 bets. Well, if he's got ace king, we'll just outrace it.
Right. Throw a few extra folds in, and there it is. Pick up almost to 2 million. So again, sort of two different things going on here. We got 2.7 and 2 million, and then 655 and 985. So currently a little bit of a 2-horse race going on, but these players are 1 double away from being very healthy and right into it. So still wide open. 4 left, guaranteed 139,000, 480,000 at first. I mean, huge difference between first and third. I'm sorry, first and fourth. And the pay jumps do start to get a little beefy, in particular between third and second. But a lot to play for. Everyone's in it.
Everyone's in it. Demps, how are your bets for the evening going? So far?
Not ideal. We're mixed bag. That's what I can say.
Go on. What have you got for tonight's Champions League?
Oh, we've gone under Liverpool and Real Madrid. That's looking all right. We've gone under Dortmund, Man City. That's looking all right. But we've also laid Dortmund, so I need a little bit of a turnaround there, but not too much of a turnaround. That there are too many goals. So I think we're looking okay. But
okay.
I didn't see the game yesterday, but it was 1-0 on for PSG that they lost, but they still got to go through on aggregate. It's pretty powerful 8 left, I guess, down to 6. Who's the favorites in these today? It's Real Madrid's 3-1. Oh, Liverpool's in trouble, right?
Yeah. So I mean, City should see Real getting through, but City are losing at the moment, which means as things stand, they'll be going out.
Oh, Dortmund would make it at 1-0?
Yeah. I would love to see that. I'd love to see Dortmund go through. I do like Dortmund.
That guy Holland is a serious deal. I purchased one of his cards not too long ago, but I can't believe how he's young, right? Like a rookie was a year or two ago.
20, I think.
Who's this?
This guy Holland on Dortmund.
He's 20.
Yeah,
21 this year.
It does make you when you like find out the age of these sports stars. Like, oh, he's only 22. It's just like, damn, what was I doing with my life when I was 22? These guys are just absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, serious athleticism.
Yeah. I think you're about 15 years too late, Chef Brad.
We see a snap fold there on the button, 10-4 suited. Kind of realizing Timothy's in a bit of a different position now with Andras with a huge stack in the big blind. Also, Markus been playing back at him a bit. So I just think, he's going to kind of sit out. He is the shortest and puts Markus, let him maneuver out of position versus Andras. And we see the king 6 off.
Yeah, I'm not playing that against Nemeth in big blind, man. Right. I'm just letting him have it. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
There's no easy ride with that man behind you.
Absolutely right. We're going to see a fold here and then take a look at the blinds, both with the weak ace, both with the 1 and 2 stack here. These hands are tough. These are tough to play out of position, and I'm just going to go ahead and limp in. And interesting to see Sven checks back, or if he's just going to institute the 3.5x, a little over 3x raise. Does have an ace. Got to figure it's good. Also, probably doesn't expect many re-raises from Andras. I doubt he's really going to be limp raising there much. So does just go for a flop. Both players miss. Likely to chop if it does go to a river. Now there won't be a chop if it gets to a river. Andras does hop into the clear lead, although he did have the best hand. Does go for a check now. 6-6-9, turn 5, rainbow board, 200K in the middle. Sven may start thinking that I think he'll be happy to check it down, although kind of might think he want to do a little protection. Does go for the check, and on the river, Andras has got the winner, 200K in the middle.
Yeah, the old
on a blocker bet, or just happy to take it down, so he's going to bet.
The other two, there's not much hope of a huge clash between these two. When these pots play out, Markus and Timothy are holding up too much hope. These guys are so deep. You get ace.
There's one part of the puzzle. Two
Yeah,
Sometimes
I
you
was
get
about to
kings
say.
against queen 10. You know, sometimes you get these clashes.
Yeah, just over 20 blinds. Interesting how Sven comes to this spot. Gonna come out
Yeah.
raising.
And
This
Jeff,
may-
you're going to limp some here. You're going to raise some, aren't you? But with Tim being the shortest, maybe. I don't know. I thought it might see more limps than raises, but.
Yeah. Also, wouldn't mind a call. We do see just the call. He's got a perfect trap laid. Sven could go into barrel mode here. 9-5-4. Pretty dry flop, right? Queen 10 off. You got overs. You got turn straight cards that are nice to kind of follow up with. And again, the risk premium is very relevant. It's super low for Timothy. And so, again, trap is set. Does he want to maybe try to get it in? Hope his opponent hit a 9, a 4, a 5. What would he really be raising with that he called? Maybe just keep laying the trap here, but your opponent might have something like Jack Queen or Queen 10. But Timothy's got a nice thing going for him right now.
Yeah.
Little time bank and little medicine. Tough decision. I got kings on the 9 high rainbow, and he is just thinking about what he's going to do. He does go for a smallish raise, and probably just going to end that.
Yeah, not much Joachim can do with this one. It's a raise holding queen high. But I guess, Henry, you'd put Joachim in a tough spot if he had anything on this board, right? With the small raise, the 9-4-5 rainbow.
All I'm gonna say is it's lucky we didn't flop a pair.
That is true.
At that stack that blind versus blind.
All right, well, look at this. Sven decides to attack here at this spot. Just maybe thinks Andras is going to be opening this pretty wide against these blind stacks, and maybe thinking that Sven might not be coming at him, but he does. And both have hearts. Pretty playable hand here. I'm just going to continue. And again, this is one of the benefits of 3-betting in position. It's hard to make a pair. It's hard to hit anything. And he has the lead in the hand. And in terms of he has the aggression, right? He's made the aggressive maneuver. And now Andras, although he has backdoor hearts, backdoor straight draws and ace high, could think it's good. This isn't a great flop, and we're going to get a c-bet here to sort of hang on in the spot. But see what he does with the affordable price. Tricky spot.
Yeah, just enough maybe with the backdoor hearts, backdoor straight draw.
Yeah, also interesting to see, like, if Sven is going for a light 3-bet, maybe ace-5 suited, stuff like that, would he continue and shell? That's part, I think, what Andras is thinking. How likely is he to continue the story? If he misses, is my opponent going to follow through? You know, do I want to check raise? Savvy, look at that. Puts it in the box of tricks. What a play.
He's just never fails to deliver, this man. Never fails.
I mean, disconnected board. I said disconnected. 2-10, but it's a heart on board, boys. Come on.
I love it. I love it. The man just does not disappoint. He's box office. Guys, free roll kicking off in 48 minutes from now. I just noticed the prize pool's changed ever so slightly. So still 2 tickets up top, $320 tickets for first and second. But now there's Powerfest tickets all the way down to 120th. So far more money being given away than I originally said. Please do check it out. Head on over to Party. The password is, of course, at the top of your screen there. Power Rangers. Get in the mix. I'm in there. Best of luck.
All right, I'm just with top pair here, 10-8 suited defense. Timothy, again, just hasn't really gotten to a rhythm at this final table, but still, you know, he was chip leader. You're now 4-handed. he's still in it with the 139K locked up. So, you know, he's got to be not thrilled, but also he's still in and still in it to win it. So, good luck. It feels like everyone versus Andras at this point, right? He's just kind of like his name brings a lot of weight, and you know, sure enough, he found himself played a nice hand to get himself into a healthy position, and he is currently the chip leader. Just like that, he's got a nice 2.8 million stack in command.
This is really where I think final table experience plays. I mean, obviously it always plays, you know, a pretty significant role, but you pointed out, Jeff, that, you know, Timothy came in as chip leader and now finds himself kind of 4 of 4 after being 1 of 6. And someone like Nemeth, you know, these guys that have been around for a while and have the experience of dealing with those emotional swings and just having to stay focused, it's going to give them like a huge edge compared to someone like myself, for example. If I came in first of 6 and didn't know how to manage my expectations, if things didn't go my way for the first hour and a half, potentially crash and burn and be out 4 of 6. But Timothy's obviously been around a while, and just keep focusing on his game and see if he can get back into this.
Yeah, absolutely. No question. He's been doing this a long time, James. Like we said, back in our day, I know this name very well, and he's got he's done a lot of work at the tables. And here he's gonna come in with the ace deuce on the button, and Timothy may just decide to rip this. Right, doesn't play super well post flop, probably the best hand, and I think confidently rip this. Does go.
Yeah, I think one of those. Henry, we're assuming Nemeth is opening super wide here on the button, isn't he? Into Nuta, so perhaps we can rip a little wider. Ace 8 kind of probably fits okay in that.
Yeah, absolutely fine. Again, gonna get some better hands to fold. Obviously hating it when we do get called, but still got fold equity and gonna have the best hand a lot of the time. Pick up 3 bigs.
All right, 2 5s here. Sub 30 blinds, 27 or so. Still playability. No one's super short right now. I want to welcome everyone in. We've got over 3,000 people watching right now. Let us know where you're from. Good luck in the free roll. As always, it's kind of the perfect combo, right? You get to watch high stakes, 25K, 480 up top, and get to play in a free roll. It's a nice. What day is it? What month is this? April. It's Wednesday. No, it's Wednesday. Yeah. So whatever it is, enjoy out there.
See, guys, Jeff has given us the whole story. He was given the whole story about now he's like a responsible grown up with a family and kind of has to set aside the old just bouncing around playing poker whatever days you want to. So now he doesn't even know what day it is, guys. Don't believe him. Don't believe what he said. But what he said is there's a lot of truth to it. But just don't believe that it's his personal experience he's drawing upon on this one, guys.
Oh, that's amazing.
James, when's the next time? When are you gonna hit the World Series? Do you plan on getting over for October?
Yeah. I'm gonna be over for the World Series. All things, assuming all things go to plan.
Wait. Hang on. You're gonna be in Vegas for the World Series, James?
That'll be the plan. This seems to be the best place to be.
Let's go. All right.
I haven't missed one since I first went to it, so I'm not going to start now.
No way. Dempsey on the loose.
Dempsey, why? I feel like Henry. Can you explain why? Yeah, he's been there every time. He's dialed in. The guy's got white magic in the booth for a year during COVID. You think he's just gonna walk away when he's gonna come in there and scoop some stuff? I hope you're selling pieces. I'm in. What are you talking about, Henry? Why are you doubting James to be in Vegas?
I'm not doubting him. I'm pumped, man. Like James Dempsey on the tear in the Rio, just prowling through the Amazon room looking for his.
Is it the Rio? I don't know if it's for sure the Rio. Is that confirmed?
I mean, I think it makes the most sense.
Let me tell you, Henry. I know every back corridor of the Rio. Don't worry about me tearing through the rooms. I'll be in the walls. That's where.
Right. Yeah. He's in the back. You don't know some of the maze back there.
Yeah, there's the normal people walk the hallways and the rooms. Like if you got to know how to walk through the walls, man. It's like
the Disney.
Secret entrances.
The back pass you get like underneath in the tunnels and stuff. Yeah. Sure. That's I think after a decade there, you get that.
You have to be brave. You have to walk past the signs that say like warning, alarm, doors alarmed, and all that
The
kind of
security
stuff.
guys give them a firm nod, like you're good. They just you gotta act like you've been there. That's it.
Yeah.
It's all right, boys. They'll have the media pass. It's all good. It's fine.
That gets it done.
Don't even give them the nod. Just
helps, but
give them the old "what's up," like a sense of belonging. You know, they know what's up. They've seen the pass before. They're like, this guy's allowed here.
Yeah, no, passes help. But still doesn't get you the corridors. Yeah, James. I actually don't know if it's going to be here. I'm not up to date. Maybe they did announce it, but I know there's a lot of talk that it might not be.
I think they're making an announcement tomorrow. I think about some stuff. Right, they're supposed to be the 15th. They're going to announce some more details. So we'll find out. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to announce a full schedule yet, but I think we'll get a little bit more information. And hey, like everything this year, guys, we know it's not set in stone. These things can change, but we'll see. I'm hopeful. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good.
We see a little bit of bluffing with the best hand takes it down, and Timothy is right about $1 million, so he's getting back on track.
Yeah, the two shorties
as well.
Two shorties, even in chips.
Yeah, but
not so short, you know.
It is pretty interesting that Andras just does find himself into the chip lead here after kind of being, out of 6 there, was on the shorter side, and he's just got like a commanding lead all of a sudden. Was patient with the Jack Queen, played it really well. And ended up having to make a little bit of a difficult call in the end after flopping the nuts, but really well constructed hand, and again knows his way around. So let's see if he maybe overdoes it a bit here, tries to push the action, or if he just sets into his game, and still really anyone's game here wide open. I think Sven won that big flip. I say we've seen big bluffs here. We've seen Markus rip it, take a chance. We've seen Timothy be aggressive. So no one's really kind of locking it up here. I think we're seeing some collisions. We're seeing people go for it, and obviously now we mentioned the pay jumps do get pretty large in comparison to the other spots.
Yeah, that old little ace-10 check raise in a 3-bet pot from Nemeth kind of set the tone, and it's given him a very comfortable lead. And it's also been, even that check raise, you wouldn't say out of line, right? Queen 6-4 with a heart seems fine. He hasn't been stepping too out of line, in my opinion, and I think everyone's going to be aware of that.
That ace-10 was definitely that's not super in line, but I agree. Overall, he's been I'm just saying he could have re-raised pre, took a flop, missed it, and just check raised. And I'm not saying that's like crazy. It just he's definitely playing the game. He's not just playing ABC.
Yeah. Playing the game.
Goes with the 4x here, picks it up.
What a game it is as well. What a game it is. Going off all the time on Pi. All sorts of games. Guys, get involved. Go check it out. The Daily Legends. Going off as always. Tickets added every day as well to the boosted Daily Legends. Worth checking out. We had, I think it was Salcero in the chat, right, Henry, last night. I think he's with us again this evening. Had a nice little score off one of those free tickets picked up in a boosted Daily Legend. Used to check it out. And of course, Powerfest now in full swing. Of course, we're covering this one, the Super High Roller. But, events to suit all budgets going off daily on Party, leading up to the main event, 1K, 1 mil guaranteed. All right, Nemeth at it again, this time with ace-9. Timothy, Jack-9 suited in the small. Yeah, that's a good question from Chef for Henry. Chef Brad, like, were you all staying at the Kilbane Ranch in Vegas? Is that the new stopping point? Oh, hello. Hang on. We'll come back to this because Timothy's about to feel some pain. 9-4-4, peeling from the small. Nemeth with the 9, the better kicker, and a diamond.
Yeah, Timothy doesn't have a lot going for him here. And gotta love that flop.
Yeah, Nemeth could have 2/3 of the chips in play after this hand.
Timothy came in as the chip leader to start the day. Navigated away to the final 4, but it hasn't quite gone to plan in the overall strategy. Things have just changed, though, because the jack on the turn is certainly in the plan.
Wow. Just calls. Got to give him credit there for just taking one off. Didn't stack off. Well, I mean, he would have ended up getting there, but he just calls. Does improve now. And interesting. Check. A little surprised Andras doesn't go for value there with that board. I guess he gets flat. I guess maybe he thinks there could be a trap from Timothy or something. And he decides to just slow down there because that card, the Jack's kind of innocuous, right? It's not really like, there's not many Jack X he should be having that he calls on the flop. And look at this. Look at this maneuverability. Loses
the minimum. Like the absolute min.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's a great point, Jeff. That flat from the small, arousing some suspicion from Andras potentially has some traps, and didn't have any traps, just binged the old 3-outer on the turn. Yeah, losing the min.
Oh, blind on blind. Pardon me, not blind on blind. Open from Joachim. Pardon me, with the 8s, and Nemeth just finds it in the big, as he always seems to raise from the big. He always seems to raise from every spot, but hey, sometimes Jeffy just gets hands as well.
They always have it when they raise from the big.
Wow.
That's a raise, all right.
Please don't call off.
Wow. I mean, this is a pretty big shove, but man, puts the 8s in a tough spot there.
Yeah, I mean, can't call, can he, Henry? With these two, with like half the chips, he just has to let that one slide.
Yeah, always tough. Four-handed, but that risk premium, you know, to a 4 can't. If he's 4 or 4 and the risk premium's reduced, then we just click the call button.
Yeah, no, this was different, and here we do see a limp now, and doesn't go for the 4x. We saw Ace Queen off do that, and limps the deuces, and not a lot of good flops for deuces, of course, unless you hit a deuce or maybe a paired board of sorts. But this King 10-5, he still is in the lead. Not inflating the pot. Going to check it over to Sven. Oh, there you go.
Sometimes the flop can be no good with the deuces, but a little deuce on the turn can change it all up.
We had that yesterday. Similar spot with deuces.
Yeah, Timothy Adams, right? He was going blast, and you said Henry with the king queen on the king queen 10, the deuces, and just smack the deuce.
Quick question for the chat and for Jeff. Are we living in a sim?
I mean, it's the Matrix. Yeah, this is rabbit hole stuff. I think for Final Four, it's too much action to go down that route. But I don't know. Another time, we'll talk about it in Vegas, right? The three of us, we'll be at a dinner somewhere. We can have a simulation talk. I don't think we want to go there right now. Who asked that? Henry, was that you or that was in the chat?
No, Kevin Martin on Twitter, and it's a question I've been asking myself more and more over the last 3 months since being in Vegas.
Well, I will just give my little tidbit on the simulation discussion, because Elon Musk, obviously is a renowned thinker. He's an American hero. People look up to him in a lot of spots, and he's a sharp guy, right? His simulation, I saw him say this. He thinks it's a 1 in a billion that we are not in a simulation. So he thinks out of 1 billion times, it's 1 billion to 1 that we are in a simulation. I think the definition of a simulation, though, is constantly improving, right? Just like it's a pretty big hand here, pretty big flop in Ace 10 to Jack Queen, but it's kind of hard if you start defining what that actually means. But he has a rule that, he sometimes gets in a hot tub and they'll hit to talk with his brother-in-law, and they were saying they always just chat, and that's something that they can't talk about there because no one ever gets up. It's sort of just like a rabbit hole, right? It's sort of a deep, dark. It can keep you really thinking. You don't want to be sitting in a hot tub having a discussion, debate about that, so you might never get up. But yeah,
there we go. I'm looking forward to that dinner and the discussion, and hopefully it's a place that serves good food and has patient waiters and waitresses, because we'll probably be there for a while.
Okay, here's a retort for you then, Henry. If you ask that question, would the answer change the way you live your life?
If I knew for a fact?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nemeth fires bullet number 2.
I would be like Nemeth more, and I'll just keep firing infinite bullets.
The simulation's very realistic. Still has the consequences remain the same.
We may have a new chip leader.
Mm.
I don't think Nemeth gives up here. It's an interesting one to triple.
Right, you want your opponent to have, well, some Queen Jack. I guess you also want them to have, what, Henry, some...
Yeah, I mean, we block Ace Jack, Ace Queen, which is kind of relevant because there may be some of the hands that, the stronger hands that do flat and are obviously going to be calling. Wow.
You also don't have any hearts in your hand, and like he could have like a King Queen or King Jack or something of hearts or something that's annoying, and you, wow, this is pretty sick.
I mean, we can't fold this, can we, guys? Surely, like,
I mean, never say can't, but yeah,
you see him tanking, but I mean, this is like a, oh god, how's he put me in this spot? But you have to click cool. He does click cool and takes the big lead, 3.4 million, over half the chips in play. Andras Nemeth with a sim-inspired misstep, Henry. You see, there are consequences. Whether it's a sim or not, there's the consequence.
Wow.
The sick thing is that Joachim calls off on an 8 or a king as well. That's the that's sick because Nemeth jams on king and 8 rivers.
Yeah. Well, Andras was cruising along, and then he wasn't, but he's still healthy. I mean, he's in second, but it's very tight, very, very tight. We've seen the 4-way distribution of chips has gotten passed around. It's fairly even, and Sven with the lead makes a nice call. I think you're right though, James. I think you just can't fold that if he's going to play it that way.
I mean, you just can't, can you?
You can't until you look at fourth for 139 and second for 300, and you start thinking about a crypto punk or something.
Yeah,
else,
but I mean, it's one of those spots, isn't it, guys? Even if we fold there, we're not like necessarily even guaranteeing that we're going to get anything but fourth. You're getting what 1.2 million in chips Sven had back facing that river bet. So I mean, you got to go with it. You got to gamble. I say gamble. You got to call with top 2. He was calling. You can take some time there. You can just make sure. Have a little think through. And I mean, Nemeth is the kind of person who could have a 9. It's completely possible, but you gotta take it on sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, 3.4 million. It's a lot of the chips in play. I think it's definitely over half, 1.83. So he's got a little over half the chips in play, 4-handed. A couple real hands here. Ace 10 suited, Ace Queen off. Marcus, known as that. Which cash game? What's his specialty? He's Hold'em high stakes.
Yeah, I presume Hold'em. Yeah, it just says yeah, I did have a decent score last year in a tournament, 150k and a 10k. But not a whole lot of tournament results. Pops up here from Marcus with this Ace 10 of spades. Rip it in
out
over the top. What we saying, Henry?
Fold for 18.
Fold, and also I would imagine we saw him really fast fold that Ace Queen suited, assuming it wasn't a glitch, even though it's a little bit of a different kind of spot. But I think maybe showing that Marcus is leaning towards not calling off with some close spots, but not the Ace Queen suited was super close, but still like he snap folded it, which I think you give a little thing.
Oh, that's another good bet from James Dempsey. Isn't it, Dempsey? Just
yeah, but I need no more no more goals now. That's the problem. No more goals.
Easy.
Wow, everyone with the 2 here points out MAF and LO. That's not normal. Not a pretty distribution of hands there. We have Ghost of M's in the chat. How are you? Man the myth. Missed many streams.
All the deuces. Queen kicker versus the 5 kicker on the Jack 10-4.
Yeah.
Guys, head on over to party. Free roll kicking off in 25 minutes. Passwords at the top of the screen there. Power Rangers. We're giving away lots of Powerfest tickets. Your chance to be a Power Ranger, perhaps. Head on over. Get in the mix. I'm going to be in there trying to win some tickets. First and second, getting a $320 ticket. And we're paying out so down to 120 players as things stand. And of course, as usual, every evening we're on. You guys know this by now. We're doing our giveaways on the hour, every hour. Throwing away another 10 tickets each time. $11 a pop those. And of course, we have the survey you guys can fill out. That's not enough for you, and you want to try and win a $22 ticket. Please do click the link in the chat. It takes 2 minutes to fill out, and you'll be in the draw for those weekly.
E6, top and bottom. Got the missionary going. Sven going to take a shot with the 4 high. Basically, the worst hand you could have. Does have backdoor galore. He's got backdoor hearts, backdoor straight. But, yeah, just going to go with the call. And there it is, a little sweaty turn.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sick, because Andras would call off if a heart rolls off as well. Unless it's like specific. Oh no, 9 of hearts is dead, boys. If we see a heart river, it's GG's Nemeth.
Maybe the 5 or 10 of hearts can be different, but yeah, it's probably, you're right. I mean, I guess with this big bet too, or stack the pot ratio, SPR is pretty much
setting it up, guys. Setting it up.
Yeah, close your eyes and call down.
It's a good hand to fire 3 with as well, right? I'm blocking the 7
right.
8s. Is the gift about to be returned? Marcus and Timothy must just be watching from the sidelines right now. What on earth is going on?
You've always got a chance when Nemeth's in the pot.
Oh, he does just give it up.
The white flag, nicely.
White flagged it, Jeff. White flagged it. Wisely so. Was getting trapped. You got to be suspicious, you know. When Nemeth's in there, usually blasting away. Suddenly he's checked cool, and you got to think, hang on a second, what's this character up to? Like this isn't how it usually goes.
Craig saying, if I go to the survey link and it won't let me fill anything out, does that mean I already completed it? Most likely.
Well, if you've done it before, Craig, yeah, I see you say, then I think you're good. You only need it done once, but thank you for filling out in the past. Here we go. Nemeth now getting the best of it, flopping trips, whilst Joachim has second, well, flop the pair now, obviously bottom pair.
That does go for a little bit of a bigger than half size pot. Feeling like he can protect his hand here, the 3, although he's betting into, whoa, that's actually a pretty special run out for the quads. Maybe even thinking about a value, just getting called on the flop, called on the turn, and on that river. No, he's not gonna. That's a little too cute, but he does give up and well, check back. Had some showdown.
Yeah,
I'm just getting back in it.
It's a little thin, Jeff, but it's not like out of line thin, is it? Betting the 3 there, it's
no. I think it would be completely reasonable. Ace high or something else calling you. So
again, though, you gotta be scared against Nemeth. I'm scared against them. I'm scared watching.
Just seeing how the Powerfest high roller, PLO high roller is getting on. Obviously, one of the OGs of the PLO world. Andreas Torbergsen chip leading.
Which buy-in is that? The 5K?
The 1K. 1K PLO high roller.
All right. Neither player loving this board, but 2 3s in the lead with the best hand, best position.
I just realised, Henry, I never read out the winners of the draw, did I? Lost.
No way.
The last hour's draw. How are you guys in the chat not giving me grief? Come on, you let me sleep it. We did it 40 minutes ago. I'm not going to waste any time getting to it as we see Markus with 2 jacks here because, well, I've made you guys wait 40 minutes longer than you're supposed to. The winners were Ice Shark 21, Veteran Girl 50, Nanak 95, Scotty Bar 18, Pinner 37, Ledi Plomatico, AKC 76, Stosnor, Nix 12, and Chris SYC. I'm going to write those in the chat for you guys. You all won a $11 ticket, and I made you wait for them. Congratulations if you heard your name. If you want to get involved yourself, just click follow here on Twitch. We'll do another draw in 20 minutes. And I promise this time, Henry, that I won't keep our guys waiting for 40 minutes for the results.
Fair. Respect it.
Might make it 45 minutes instead. You know?
Markus needs to release a new strategy video on how to play pocket jacks. Has Nemeth drawing to 2 outs or running trips. Love to see it. Oh yeah. James, you're about to win 2 bets, mate.
I feel like I've won 2. I'm trying to win 3.
Oh wow, that changed quickly for
oh, hello.
Man City.
Hello. Spice is right here. We're going for the raise with a gut shot. Markus sticking around, extends to an open ender. Nemeth now with a pair. Still has his gut shot, of course, needing one of Markus's jacks. Yeah, kind of a give up stroke. Tiny amount of showdown, Jeff. Yeah. Beat some diamond draws, perhaps beat maybe a stubborn hand like 7s or 6s. Ace Jack type hands.
Brave, little blocker bet there. Gonna open up a little blocker value, a little interesting sizing, like it from Markus, and into a couple premium holdings here. Ace King suited and Jack 10 suited, pretty hands here. No one's making a royal, but there is a flop likely coming our way. Sven with worst position, worst hand. He's got the chip lead though. Jack 10 suited, always a hand you want to play. Getting to defend out of the big blind, Jack 10 suited, definitely a very strong holding.
A lot stronger now. Jack 5 deuce. There is a heart there. I'm going to check back and see the 6 of spades roll off. Joachim. Well, it's all going right for him at the moment. Here's the chip leader. Although it has slipped slightly back below the 3 million mark. Did get up to half the chips in play.
It goes for a healthy sizing. I mean, Ace King suited, just something really hard to let go. You got to realize here too, you don't have any spades. You don't have a 7 or an 8 or a 4. Definitely hands you're beating. Although valuable chips at this juncture, does go for the call. Can't blame them.
Yeah, definitely can't blame him. Always sticking around at least for one.
You know, if you're Sven, you could get creative here and go for kind of a blocker value bet too, right? Because the queen's not a great card, but how many queen X's is he sticking around with? He does go for a big bet, and I actually really like this. This is pretty high level, right? Because if you are going to be bluffing, you're 7-8, you're miss spades, and you think your opponent has some type of hand like ace king or could have 9s or 10s, right? And you bet, this definitely reeks of a bluff. It's also like, how can you bet a queen this strong, right? Like, what queen do you have? Jack queen? Did you hit a queen? Were you bluffing to hit a queen? So I think this is actually a pretty high level bet and sizing. I like this a lot. Yeah.
Tim does get away from it.
Yeah, that was a cool hand.
Sven from the small with Jack 8 is going to pop it up. Tim in the big king queen offsuit. One of the two shorter stacks.
Mind you, about a little over 2 buy-ins here for a pay jump with the 139,000 up to 194,000. So good size jump. 300,000 to second and 480 up to first. And Timothy thinking about just ripping it or calling calls. Pretty good flop. The king queen.
Yeah, I don't think we really get to rip here, Jeff, but certainly cool. Keeping plenty weaker. Sam plays so well post flop king queen, especially blind on blind.
Yeah.
There we go, king 10-10, dreamy.
It definitely wasn't full in, but you're right. Yeah, it'd be an ambitious rip. I think just calling and gets exactly what he wants, a top pair. As the opponent goes for the quarter size bet on the flop.
I mean, the dealer's trying his best at the moment to send people home. You know, there's been a few hands where a lot of chips could have gone in the middle. The players could have been sent packing certain runouts.
Got heart, going for it.
Yeah, I mean this isn't over this hand. 9 or ace on the river would have been some dirtiness, but now surely Sven has to give up, right? The ghost is gone here.
Well, Timothy's got he's got both full houses. He got the king and the queen. He doesn't need just the king. 3 10s, a king out there, and Sven just debating on what he can do. It's kind of one of those spots where you kind of realize the reality. You're not going to win, and do you ever try to blow off like Jack Queen or I don't know? He calls a raise pre-flop, maybe a low pair. There's a few hands, but I don't know if he holds on with 6s or 7s or 5s and maybe just rips that pre. So I don't know. Like you start thinking of hands and just surrender. I think that was the ultimate realization. Wow. Interesting. Checks back, I guess, thinking he's not getting called by worse, but thoughts, anyone? He blocks the queen. That's one of the likely hands to get called by somehow a queen, and he just checks back top boat, but
maybe also see what Joachim's also barreling with there. Blind versus blind.
Yeah.
Been a while. We had a flurry of bust outs at the start. Pretty insane, and now it's just kind of mellowed out a little bit. Been full-handed for a while now. Well, over an hour.
Yeah, a couple breaks on the flips, a couple double ups, couple bluffs into the nuts, and here we are. It's anyone's game still. And again, Marcus, the shortest stack, Jack Queen suited, just decides against the chip leader cutoff open, he is going to be a little too out of line and has some full luck. We also just Queen Jack suited, really pretty hand off his stack, and he does pick up that pot. So again, stack is kind of the richer, push the chips to the bottom so everything tightens up just a little bit more, and go to the next hand.
Yeah,
Timothy with the A7.
It's not been without action, this four-handed play, that's for sure. We saw obviously Joachim double up in that huge pot against Nemeth, but it's... We haven't had any sort of those knockout blows. These two guys down the bottom, they've kind of kept themselves a little bit out of trouble. You've always got sweat with what's going on around the table when Andras is in the mix. And it just seems to have kind of... I don't think slowed up's the right word, because we just saw like Joachim blasting a couple of bullets a second ago. We saw him with the 3-4 suit as well fire a couple of bullets, but we just haven't had the kind of real kind of crucial hand for a while.
Well, this is a modern day cooler. Top pair versus middle pair. Cut versus big blind.
Nemeth in the middle. Guys, free rolls in 10 minutes. Head on over to Party. Password is Power Rangers. Giving out Powerfest tickets for days. Get amongst it.
Oh, man.
You love it, don't you? Henry, you could be a Power Ranger as well. You get in the Powerfest. Now, come on, guys, in the chat. Anyone smashing up in the Powerfest tonight? I want to hear about it.
Yeah, let's see how that PLO events.
Okay, guys, we see Joachim with the check call on this 7-5 deuce. Do we ever see any kind of lead here? A little bit of protection. Guess to have some deuces. Does elect just to check it, or is it three-way? Probably not something we do too much when Timothy's bet the flop three-way.
No, I don't think we get to get out of line here. We just call, reevaluate rivers, maybe even edge fold if we don't think Timothy's been getting too out of line. Haven't seen many double barrels from him. We're there.
Do we have information on Timothy Neuter? I'm sorry, you answered this someone earlier. I know on
Yeah.
Marcus high stakes cash player. What do we know about him?
Timothy, just that it seems like he plays. I'd imagine cash. Obviously, has some cashes on the online World Series of Poker 2018, 2019. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot more than that.
I have got word that he's played some high stakes cash on against Mr. Bill Perkins and some high stakes on some other sites I know he's battled. So that I just got word on that, but I don't know much about him either. Just heard some real high stakes cash games. But not a name I know. You know, sometimes those are the scariest guys.
Yeah, when they're rocking up in 25Ks, you better believe it.
He's in a tough spot here. He's got the backdoor galore. He's in with middle pair and against an aggressive Sven, who's been pushing the action as chip leader. So going to be a sure. We saw him just kind of call down with top pair, a strong top pair on the King 10-10, similar sort of spot. Doesn't really seem like much reason to do anything else but call here. Timothy is tied for second actually at the moment. Or technically second, I guess, to start the hand, right? Whoa, pretty spicy turn here. That's, I mean, like you said, Henry, the dealer, finding the action money cards. Everyone's got an improvement on the middle pair. It's one of the only cards where this can happen. So we got open-ended, and then Timothy has a middle pair on the turn with a jack high flush draw against the turned open-ended with middle pair. So everyone liking this. There are a few money cards that come to mind.
A few money cards. Yeah, it's been dangling the carrot. That's for sure. Definitely been dangling the carrot.
Oh, check back. Okay. Don't blame him. Sven gonna find a winner here. Don't really see any way that he doesn't get to win this hand as played. No, just his decision if he's gonna bet or not. He does go quarter pot, finding some value, and I can't see Timothy not calling here as played too. So there you go, betting a call and Sven healthy up to around 3 million, and pretty even in the second spot there. Really tight.
Yeah, blind's going up as well. Wow.
Creeping up, guys. 2040. But up
Sure,
they go.
Gonna lose someone this level. It's been a while.
It's hard not to. 25-minute levels. You get a lot of hands in four-handed play online with 25-minute levels.
All right, we see people in the chat. Man City 1. I want to welcome everyone. 4,600 people here right now. Let us know where you guys are from. If you're enjoying, you got the free roll. You got the 25K high stakes. 480,000 to first. I mean, this is what a spicy 25K. This is way over the guarantee, man. I love that Party smashing these $1 million guarantees. Like, it's just not even close. You know, you could Party does so much right. Maybe I could slap a little, 1.5 there, guys. You really outdid it. Then on the million, maybe go for it. Powerfest off to a very fast start. Good to see.
Big start indeed. Yeah, Jeff just that's a man who's not going to write the check for the $500,000. He's like, well, just bump the guarantee up, guys. Let's go 1.5. Let's see what happens. Scary scenario if you fall short there. Joachim. All right,
we got our man Rob, right? Why would I want to tell you? Rob's the guy who likes to make ambitious statements, so we'll let him hold that role.
He most certainly does. Guys, it's 5 minutes to the hour, which means it is break time, but it also means we've got 5 minutes till the free roll starts. Head on over to Party, check it out. Power Rangers is the password, and of course, we'll be giving away 10 tickets on the flip side of this break. Again, all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning one of them is click follow here on Twitch. So guys, please don't go far. The three of us will be back in 5 minutes.
Fuck, what a tilt is this guy, innit? Just wants to get every little angle of money. Such an angler. It's pathetic, actually. You think I'd do that at like 35 years old, just try and angle people like that?
I guess you're saying the right thing now for me to do it.
Well, whatever, I'm not going to fold anyway. We'll see, yeah. You're not going to bet into two of us anyway. Think I'm prank? I'll smash anyone heads up anyway. It don't matter if I come fifth. Don't matter if I get knocked out now. Think that king hits you? You think I believe in a million years that you could hit the king now and have two pair? All right, big man, go on. Do your little angle bet.
Really?
I bet.
You really did. You really checked.
I just checked, yeah.
Wow.
So do your bet.
Put me in a bad spot now.
Do your bet. You'll see how I will go all in so quickly if you bet.
You would. To give your word to the camera.
Go on then, do your bet. Are you slow rolling us all for?
Finding.
So sick I flopped a set. Or a king eye flush draw.
It's not binding.
I just feel to push just because he's such a tilters.
123,000. Is it binding or what is? No. No.
So sick that you got a king high flush draw, innit? What a joke. Joke. You know what? Yeah, I'm so confident in my heads up game. Yeah. Do me then, whatever, innit?
At least you put your money where your mouth was.
Yeah, whatever. Nice level. Yeah, and what then?
Oh my god.
Look, I've got 2 jacks here. You don't think I mess about? My heads up game, I'll beat everyone in this whole party poker. It don't matter if I come there. It don't matter. Look at this. I'm sitting out for 5 hours. In your eye, David Benjamin, you arrogant guy.
And the only thing that chance he had of not going to the final was if he got knocked out first. This was his first hand.
You literally do that. Like,
He
just
takes
right
up
now,
the aces.
and you're screwed, right?
Look at the Granny making sure he understands before he makes a play.
You're joking. How do I get an ace?
Oh my god. It was like, yeah, it was just so ridiculous.
But I can still lose and myself.
I wouldn't be so happy if I were you.
I can now fold out. When I win this, I don't know, but I don't want to see Spain.
He just folded. He didn't even show up. He showed up and got ace on the button. And I pick up an ace in the big blind.
This is whoever wants
Wow, that's hard to do.
It was really, it's really sick. I mean,
Daniel Slice just murdered his stack.
And by the way, Roland's trying to look serious wearing a Darth Vader outfit. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw it rocking Darth Vader.
I have an ace. He just showed up and played one hand, and it happened to be aces on the button.
You want a flush?
Nice.
Would you have moved in? Would you have moved in with like queen 10, right?
You would have. I don't know what I would. I think it's a lot safer than ace because he can't have aces when I have an ace. But he has aces.
Yeah. No, not kings or queens. So he's got an ace.
I actually wouldn't have done it if I didn't have an ace. I just wanted to make sure you don't have aces. And of course, if I have an ace, you cannot have aces.
That's true because he might call his king.
It's pretty funny. The Premier League does this to people, doesn't it? You see some of the most outrageous plays ever.
He did really talk him through it, Daniel. You do know you have to fold every hand.
Yeah, before he did it.
It was so silly.
Jack one time. I'll take a chop.
How about Jack chop? I take Jack cards. Jack cards for fun.
Luke, I'll take a chop. Can't lose.
It's fun, man.
Come on. He's in the final. And he's in the final. And he's in the final.
All right, count his money.
It was top moment there.
Now he's got left the table.
Yeah.
And makes the final and leaves.
King, queen, king, cards, sponsors.
Who muted themselves, guys? Who muted themselves? Who would do something so silly as to mute their own microphone? We're back for the Powerfest Super High Roller final table. Myself, Henry, and Jeff. Call the action as we battle out four-handed for this prestigious title.
Yeah, down to the final four, eh?
Timothy going to find a nice shove, ace-5. Gets it through on the open, so a nice pickup for him, hovering at that million mark. And 2040, yeah, blinds are up. Sven with the clear advantage here, open up the jack-8 suited. Going to work with his stack.
Yeah,
this is
guys.
a good spot. This is the dream spot, right? Four-handed, you got a lot of the chips, about half. Or actually, he doesn't have quite half, but he's...
No. Near enough, Jeff, near enough.
He's sitting nice. He's sitting healthy. He's got a healthy, sizable lead.
And Jeff, the other three are with pretty similar stacks between 25 and 30 blinds, means you get to put some pressure on.
Yeah.
Also, worth noting, guys, free roll is underway over on Party Poker. Password is Power Rangers. We're giving away loads of tickets all the way down to 120th place, but the top two will pick up a $320 Powerfest ticket. Please do come on over, check it out. Password's Power Rangers. Money for nothing, Henry. Money for nothing. And we get to watch the elite battle out.
I love South Sarah in the chat. It's like some absolute clown in the free roll. First hand all in with 5-3 pre-flop. That sounds like something I would say.
That sounds, yeah, it definitely sounds free rolly. If you don't, yeah, we were talking earlier about, taking what you learn from watching these elite battle out. Don't take it to the free roll, guys. Play the free roll a little different. Just bet big when you got the hand, right, Jeff?
I'm with you. You go for value. You don't want a quarter bet size. You want to implement some of those larger buttons and go for it. Put the tariff tax on it.
Yeah. Go Marcus sizing. We don't mess around with this 15% nonsense. 50% and up. Well, it's been taken up right now. He's got the boots and Joachim's getting out of line now. Does he just flat Henry? Do we get to have traps?
This is the thing, man. You know, we've been exploring ICM more and more, and I just don't think we do, James. I think what we've learned over the last couple of weeks is when the ICM implications are this heavy, the less incentivized you are to try and trap in these spots. Yeah, the chip EV advantages to just like taking down the pot there without any risk of Joachim's whatever equity, his 30%, his 25%, you know, eliminating you in fourth, just far outweighs the chip EV of potentially picking up an extra couple of big blinds post flop.
All right. Feels weird having to do that. It feels weird though, doesn't it? It just doesn't sit right with me, Henry. It doesn't sit right with me having to just protect the boots. But makes a lot of sense, you know.
Yeah, no, that is true. It's like, oh, am I really trying to protect my hand here? But yeah, ICM, baby.
Whoa. Look at Andras just defending in a precarious position, opens the deuces, gets 3-bet by Sven, defended the ace-10 of hearts, had a plan, check raise flop. Here he just flops bottom set, and Sven's got the 6-8 suited. He's got middle pair and the backdoor flush draw. I mean, this is, man, what a spot. Who gets the flop? I mean, four-handed set mining with deuces and just bang it. This is
bingo.
Nice. Absolutely banged it.
Such a broken board as well. Well, Joachim doesn't pick up any of the additional equity. He's looking for that nice little diamond for the backdoor flush draw. Looking for an 8 for 2 pair, perhaps. Even a 6 for trips would have given him a chance. But Guess just kind of has to check back now, right? It beats some of the ace highs that don't jam pre. Doesn't really make anything fold.
You got to give Sven a little bit of credit here because Andras gave him some medicine with the ace-10 suit. Even though it was the best hand on the flop, he's in there 3-betting a guy that's shown he's sticky. He's not just going to fold, lay down, and Sven's just kind of attacking. You know, 6-8 suited, he's realizing he's chip leader and he's pushing it. He's pushing the boundaries on what he's doing. I think, you know, he's brave to go against Nemeth. Maybe you just would put him in the category of guys you don't just attack with the 8 high, but you know, as it plays out, obviously got some kind of unfortunate runouts in spots, and there's going to be times where he's just going to pick up pots and put Andras in a really tough spot. And as it plays, Mr. Nemeth does go for some value on the river, and look at that. Got himself back basically tied here.
Joachim's going to feel pretty sick about that one as well. When you see the deuces, you're like, really, dude? You really peel me with deuces? Like, that's worse than losing the pot, is seeing what you lost to. If you're cool and the guy turns over, like, Queen Jack suited, you're like, fair enough. Seeing deuces is just, that's like an insult, right, Henry?
Yeah, sure. I know exactly what you mean, mate. I agree wholeheartedly.
This is why I love watching Nemeth get in the mix, man. This guy just goes so hard on them all the time. Even stuff like that, going hard by calling. He just doesn't give up anything. He knows, Henry. He knows that ICM's a myth. He knows. He was around. Jeff, these guys like Henry who came along after ICM, you know, we remember a lot of times before ICM. You know, you just played for the win, didn't you?
Didn't exist for sure.
Behave. Of course it existed.
If you folded a close spot before, you were just like a dirty net. You weren't even. It wasn't good. It was just like you got lambasted for it. Like,
yeah, and you were all laughing at people like Pierre Nouvelle, you know, 10 years ago, calling him a net. But the reality is he was making the right moves.
Well, and I mean, they ended up buying houses, and we just got accolades, you know, and a lot of love from our peers. But you know, other than that, like, what else have they got? You know?
That's it. They got the boat docked down in Monaco. You know?
Yeah.
Sven does take that down. It falls through and picks it up, gets him to lay down a winner. So, important pot there to separate himself into the chip lead. Kind of even there with Mr. Nemeth, and now he's got a low gap. Pots are big, blinds are big. Every pot crucial. Doesn't matter what happens here. Some bets go in, and 6-figure pots. Things have tightened up again. This forehand has really become a thing. Been around for hours now.
Yeah, it's been going four-handed for a long time. It's fun to watch because it's moving around. And Jeff, I mean, it's hard to call anyone from here. I mean, anyone could win it. It's a cliche in a poker tournament. Of course, anyone can win it, but it looked for a while like Sven, when he got over 3 million, was definitely going to be in the frame, but he could potentially come fourth still.
And, 275 in the middle. Andras with the 8 is going to have the best hands. And pretty big brick, but so he does go with the check. Sven does have ace high. Kind of bad news, right? Because like if he bets, you know you could win. When he checks, kind of feels like you're gonna lose. Like he's gonna have some showdown and probably beat your ace high, but does go for the check, and Andras does take it down. So again, tightened up, very tight. Markus right there too with 1.5. Everyone's in it.
Very tight. Joe asking, are there any bounties in the free roll? The free roll, of course, is the one going off right now on Party Poker. Password is at the top of the screen there. Power Rangers giving away those Powerfest tickets. No, my man, I'm afraid there are no bounties today. Just the prize pool. You have to make do with the how much is in there. What was it? $1,140 worth of tickets. To struggle on. Whilst you're breaking that hand down, Jeff, I was trying to bluff, and I mean, guys, don't do what I was doing. Don't try running a bluff on the free roll. Don't do it.
Are you in there, James? You're in there firing it?
Oh, yeah, you know I'm in there. I'm gonna get myself a ticket.
Mate, James has been printing in these free rolls.
Yeah, I've been on a tear up, Jeff. I don't think I cashed the last one, but the previous 2 or 3 I was in there, man. I was on the leaderboard. I was getting paid out.
No 5-3s. That wasn't you. You're playing serious. You're dialed in.
Man, you could be dialed in.
I mean, listen. You're going to Vegas. You're going to be out there firing big events. You got to practice how you play, right? You don't want to be just ripping it in the free roll. It's good. That's nice to have a nice streak. I wonder what the best streak is. Is there anyone out there in the chat that has like a 5 or 6 or 7-time cash free roll? I wonder what the record is for. There's probably some free roll snipers out there. They know what they're doing.
It's for sure some free roll snipers out there. I feel like I'm one of them. Yeah. Like the trick is, Jeff, to double up and then play pretty tight, and then like you got a lot of people who don't turn up. They bust out around the same time. Next thing you know, bang, you're in the money. Easy.
Right. No, for sure.
Giving out all my secrets here, guys. Giving out all my secrets. Timothy giving it a little stab with Queen 3. Markus flipping second pair. We're going nowhere.
Yeah, Timothy picking the wrong time, but can't blame him. He's got nothing, and your opponent has nothing, so take a stab. He obviously has some traps and such, but Markus is going to stick on here.
Yeah, one of those, Henry. We bet with Queen high here. We don't really expect to make much better fold, but at the same time, knock out some of the nonsense and just win the pot easily.
Feels a bit out of line. I think because we can turn equity like this on like a jack, a 9, and ace, it's not as out of line as it looks at first glance, and we do get to obviously do this as well, but yeah, it's tough to get people to fold pairs in Hold'em.
Well, that pair that Markus has now has an open end, albeit the top end it doesn't look too pretty.
I think though, if he had Jack Queen, would he bet like that sizing on that board texture? But maybe gets to set up that SPR. Although with the Queen now, he does turn some pretty strong equity, realizing he beats an 8, a 10. Interesting board. No players in love with it.
See if Markus turns his hand into a bluff here.
Interesting, yeah. Probably thinking that Timothy never checks back a jack. Yeah.
Wow. There we go. Have some of that. I mean, we can't call it, surely. What bluffs could Markus get here with, other than like 10-7 and what? 8-7, 9-7.
Yeah, Timothy just
nice hand.
I like that hand because we had 3 streets of play and all 3 were bluffs, guys. Timothy firing twice, Marcus falling behind, and then firing himself.
Yeah, that was one of the more interesting hands. Like you said, just everyone sort of from behind taking the lead there. Nicely done. And as it plays, Marcus now, I think at his peak, he's got 2 million, and he is essentially tied for first right here. Sven entering the pot with 7-8, and Andras with ace-9, the best hand. So it's super even. Timothy very short. Started out as chip leader on his final table. Now he's in desperate times.
As we've done the draw for the tickets that we do every single hour, I'll get to that after this hand.
I believe in the spin. I've witnessed the spin many times. Timothy not out of it just yet. This is pretty up there. Wow. Joachim's just been finding the aggression in the right spots time and time again.
Ace queen, so he's got 11 blinds. He's gonna go ahead 11.5 blinds. Probably just rip it. Although
it is ace queen, Jeff.
I know. I'm just thinking, is there any way, with being so short, do you ever want to try to min raise here? Try to get oh no, it does go for the committing all in essentially for himself, unless somehow there's a
multiple actions behind. Guys, the tickets, 10 of them, they're worth $11 each. I'm giving them out right now. The draw has been done. The winners are Ixus 31. Is it the legend 27? Steel Rad, Stay Hustle, Samson Joss, T Gorgia 2031, Du Granati. I'm struggling now. Guys. These names.
Yeah, you kind of lost steam there. You felt like your confidence went down on those call out.
I was flying. Bogfard, Mike Lou 88, and Lee Taylor Fun. See the last ones. Why can't you have names like that, guys? Come on.
That's so true.
Like you're setting me up here to fail. I'm not liking
confidence in James'
all in a
voice.
call. Wow. Oh, what a run out. The turn hits the offsuit queen. Diamonds recovered. Ace-6 going to go out, and that's going to be our 4th place finisher. $139,222. The chip leader who started the day, Timothy Neuter, picks up a cool $139K. Well done. Well played. And down to 3, just like that. Sven finds himself at the chip lead again, and about half the chips in play, 3-handed, roughly.
Yeah, Sven winning a huge part. And I see Ixus in the chat asking, what have you won? You've won an $11 ticket. Congratulations. You heard your name. If you see your name, that's what you've won. Of course, we had the free roll going off, giving away way more than those tickets this evening. Yikes. We do get there finally, guys. 3-handed. That 4-handed battle was a long one. And as Jeff says, the man who started the day top of the counts out in 4th. Simon asking, how do you win the tickets? You just click follow on Twitch. That's it. That's all you got to do. If you're following us on Twitch, you got a chance.
Could be a thing, Salsero.
Definitely a thing. Definitely a thing. People try and trip me up. Sven back over the 3 milli mark. 6.4 in play, of course, with the 64 entries we had in this $25,000 event.
Don't know if I'll ever play a 25k. Doubt it'd be an online
25k PLO, Henry. 25k PLO could be you.
What are you drinking there, Henry? Is that a coffee or what do you got? That thing, the color looked a little crazy.
That's a little iced coffee, my man. Get the ice cubes fresh out of the freezer, you know. Good.
Nice.
Mix
nice.
it up.
The color looked a little different there. Well, we got Sven with 6s and Andras Nemeth, and these guys have played a lot of pots. They've played a lot of limp pots. These guys are not afraid, and be interesting to see here. I guess Fort gets us 28 blinds. Sven with the chip lead here. What is he gonna do?
I mean,
pretty good hand. 6s,
yeah,
3
just rifles.
Just all of it.
Outplay this.
Right.
I this.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to see here if he's gonna just kind of limp or go for a attack. He does attack 3x into the top of the range. 3-handed 10s. 35 blinds. Markus. Flat. Interesting. We've seen Markus sort of just end it with certain spots, like we're talking about ICM and different things.
Yeah.
10's a little bit vulnerable. Going to be a lot of tricky boards and flops. And here, you know, I don't know if you know the percentages of an overcard flopping when you have 10s, but it's high. I mean, it is a lot, and you know, not going to be just pure clean boards. See the ace here. Does can't hate to see the start with the check though. You know, I think he had other ideas on a dream flop, but realizing still he likely can have the best hands, especially when Sven just kind of checks.
Oof. Wow.
Oof. How's your day going?
Okay.
Man, 2 cards though, overcards come. It is a little less likely, and definitely not gonna. He's not gonna love that card. The opponent does check twice to him though. Doesn't really seem like much else to do other than check and just hope that you're good. Okay, well, it's kind of a bizarre one. The dangler and Jack 3, it just does find the jack on the turn. I mean, after that flop, he did have a couple back doors with the hearts and wheel draws, but he does find middle pair on the turn. It's going to be enough for a winner, and he does go half pot. And if you're Markus, this is one that kind of make you scratch your head. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. If you're just calling pre and it checks down, I just kind of feel like you got to put that call button out. But fortuitous run out for Sven.
Your mate saying, I'm following the stream. I look forward to getting my ticket within the hour. Doesn't quite work like that, but we'll see, you know?
Yeah, if your name's Henry Kilbane, then you're going to be seriously disappointed. You'll be waiting for months and months and months until you win a ticket. But then, yeah, there are other people that just follow the stream for about half an hour and win tickets. So
it's what can happen. That's how the world revolves, Henry. You know, just get a bit of luck sometimes. Joachim betting the same hand as Nemeth. They get to the river, neither with any improvement.
Chop it up. Both have decently strong aces in this, how this played out, and ace 9 though. Gonna chop it up, and the stack's really even now between Andras and Markus, and Sven with a roughly. He's got a little, you know, or over double both his opponents, which is nice. He can exert some force, put some pressure on certain spots, and the blinds are getting ready to keep going up. I mean, they get bigger, the stack sizes get smaller, the SPR, and you know, Markus sort of flirting here with one of the last times maybe he's going to go for get to raise here. A hand like this, he's taking taking a min raise, and king queen suited not going to allow it.
Definitely not going to allow it. All of it. All of the tokens in the middle.
Yeah, picks it up. It up, and there we are. Ace-6, King Jack, Seer raise, Sven with a pretty nice hand here. This is one of those ones where if you're looking for creative, we've seen him 3-bet the Jack-8 suited, the 6-8 suited, the King Jack off against Andras. I think we'll be hearing about it, and this is a perfect spot for just this. The full enchilada ships it in, and Andras not going to like that with the Ace-6 off.
No.
Sarah with the double in the free roll. The Snake saying, Henry, are you related to Kevin? I am indeed. You wouldn't think it if you ever saw me play football.
What is the relation? I think we've had this before, but...
My dad's cousin. So, you know. I'm basically a pro football player. That's how it works, right?
Not quite. I
Not-
have to check the rules. That's
not how it works.
Salsero. Oh man, you get me laughing. You do.
No,
I'm not related to Clint Dempsey.
James is related to Johnny Sins, boys and girls. We've already had this conversation.
Wow.
James is.
Wow. Nemeth going there as well. And he's going there into trouble because Joachim has top pair.
Nemeth going to have a little nibble at this. Jack High does have some showdown. Not much, but yeah, he goes for the little nibble.
Big pickup this is going to be for Joachim now. And well, it's going to be up to 4 million. Leaving the other two with 2.2, 2.3 between them.
Give him a little time bank, I guess, considering, to raise, but he's obviously, I believe, just going to likely just call here. And yeah, like you said, either way, he's getting the 4 million.
Yeah.
Going to have a nice, healthy stack. Whatever he elects to do, because he's not folding. And he does go for the raise, okay. Yeah. I think Sven, one thing we've noticed today is he's in that Jack 10 as well, like spots like where, it's not like this is an insane raise, but it makes sense. He seems to be going for like spots where I think the population may just call or, make different sizes. He's going for exerting force. He's realizing that there are missed bluffs. As Henry said, Jack High could be good, right? So if Jack High could be good, maybe he could have stronger Ace High. He could also have like tens or pair. And Sven's realizing like, hey, I'm not just gonna call. I'm gonna put pressure and maybe make a hero call, or you could have a king as well. Make then a difficult call to chop. So like that from Sven. I've been very impressed with his play. A few bets and spots and sizings were really strong and really just not even that they were impressive, like they were just right. Like it was like perfectly done. It shows you that he sort of knows where he's at. Like he's dead on what the opponent has, and he getting value and really reading the situation right. Because it's one thing to think about what your opponent might have. It's another to think what they have and then how can I, use that to my ability and make the best play in that spot. So he's just been spot on in a few different spots. Really that Jack 10 in particular, I like that value bet on the river. Just stood out for me when the queen hit and a few other spots that just little ones that sort of add up.
Yeah, like you say, this one obviously a little different given the huge stack superiority he holds over the other two. But yeah, you got to go for it. You got to try, Jeff. You can't, like you say, you can't let Nemeth off there if he has a hand that might call. You've got to push these edges. And Henry, now, I mean, it really does feel like it's Sven's to lose from here, right? With the other two having 20 bigs apiece, you get to really pressurize.
Yeah, I mean, lose a couple of flips and you're out in third, but generally, yeah.
There's a man, guys, who's withered from playing some tournaments. He's got 4 million versus 1 million versus 1 million. Henry's like, yeah, probably just lose a couple of flips. And
I mean, you lose a couple of flips. Yeah, all of these
It's
guys
true,
are taking the correct spots. Like Andras, if you think Andras isn't going to 3-bet jam like Queen 10, Jack 10 suited versus a button open, you snap off with Ace King, you lose some of those. It's happened before, and it can happen again. So he's in a great spot though. He's in a great spot. Like, Nemeth could have just trapped the old Ace King here. All of a sudden, we've got 3 mil, he's got 2 mil. We've all been pained, boys. Come on.
Wow, this is he's really got it spot on here. 4 to 1-1. So he's doing it. He's got exactly what he wants, and he's going with the Queen 7 off, opening up here, not just jamming, deciding it's one of those hands that he doesn't want to just give a courtesy double up, but he wants to take the lead and does flop. Look at this. This is about as action as it gets. Got an overcard open-ended versus top pair jack kicker, and probably going to see some chips moving here in the middle. Markus with the interesting decision. These spots are very interesting to me, right? Like, it's like, do you want to protect? Do you want to pot control? Do you want to just call down? Do you protect? We've seen Markus in spots like this sort of just take command and take it down. Of course, every situation is different, right? This is different stack sizes than before. This is a different situation. And we do see him elect just to call here with the Jack 9. What do you think there, James? Do you like that? Or do you think maybe just the board's super dicey? Is it more that he's worried that he's behind? Or do you think that he just doesn't want to put the chips in and take like a close spot?
It's just a combination of both. I think we get to allow for some continued blasting like this. We get to maybe see a safe card, almost like the old PLO scenario where you kind of draw a blank first before the chip, putting a lot of the chips in. So you understand your equity a lot better on certain runouts.
This is a pretty big, relatively big brick. No club, no 10.
Yeah, he goes for it here. There we go. He's drawing the blank, going to bear it.
Frustrating spot. That's annoying to bet that big bet and then not get to realize your equity there from Sven. So really well executed hand from Markus, and does separate himself into a nice second now. I mean, he's got a bit of a lead on Nemeth, and nice hand. Really nice hand. I like how he played it. Does also pose there some tricky cards, right? He's going to find himself in some tough spots on a lot of turns. That was one of the better cards he could see from the hand completion of straights and flushes not coming through right away on the turn. So he felt pretty comfortable, but he was going to have some difficult decisions, more difficult than that in a lot of spots.
I see Ivan in the chat. Does James have a bounty in his head? We're on the same table in the free roll. Nope. Leave me alone. I see you sat to my left.
This could be GG, by the way. I wonder if Joe came over jams here. Okay. Okay. The middle pair versus top pair. Oh. I take back what I said, boys and girls. This isn't GG.
Yeah, pretty bad run out. I mean, in both players' perspectives, they're not going to really love it. All they happy to check back that week 2 pair on that action. Man. Nice pick up there for Sven. Andras seems really short, but he does still have 18 blinds. Is that right? Yeah, 20, a little under 18. About 18 blinds, so still plenty of play. Again, the jumps are big. It is 194,000. It's 105,000. 4 buy-ins between third and second here. So, and then of course 180,000 between first and second. So this is the meat. This is the final 3, the podium. It's where everyone's happy to be here, but of course, you know how hard it is. You want to get that 480. You want to get that 300. You want to grab those. It's nice to the next 4 25Ks you fire to have pick that up. See if you can parlay it, because they add up. 25K, you can rebuy. Party gets the $1.6 million purse on a million guarantee. Definitely some re-entries in there. We saw some big names.
Big pot potential here, guys. Markus with the second pair has a heart. Joachim with overcard, queen high, flush draw 9 on the turn. Kind of complete some of those straight draws, but don't really help either of these, of course. Actually, pardon me. What am I talking about? Sven picks up a double gut shot, in fact. 7 or jack. Get him there.
Yeah. This would be a pretty good one to keep telling a story.
It's going to have 4 million chips, boys.
Just gets the win, right? With this.
Oh, man, it's so sick. I was honestly about to say, do we ever just get to jam here?
For sure, it's a great spot.
Hero.
A
hero.
Great spot. Love it. Love it. Look at that. Separates his lead. Sven in the driver's seat. 4.2 million. He's getting what he wants. The chips are dwindling on the other side. And an 8-3-0. He's really pulling out all of the tool kit here. That is out of line.
I mean, Markus just has to fold a bunch from the small blind, and Andras isn't going to be getting 2 out of line. He's going to be jamming correctly. Wow. This might be handover.
Wow. Joachim really is putting on a bit of a show.
It's kind of steamrolled a little bit.
Yeah, I like it, Henry. I like it. Just racing through the gears. Guys, free roll going off still on party. You've got 40 minutes of late reg left. Head on over. Giving away 120 tickets. The top 2 prizes being those $320 tickets. Words, James. Words. Get them out. Sven blasting. He's gone blasting, Henry. He's gone blasting.
The 0 equity.
Love it.
Double barrel. I mean,
this guy's really doing it. Really playing well.
This is another one that could be it, right? If Nemeth limps, Sven for 14 bigs, just rip in the queen 5.
I don't. You keep saying it's it. Well, that would be a double, wouldn't it? Most likely, man. You're really. Henry,
I mean, like
would...
it as in money could go in the middle.
Yeah. There it is. Look at that. Would have been if somehow the card turned into 5, just peels on out. But Nemeth, it's the second time around with the premium holding. Goes for semi-trap, doesn't get it, and then gets out board run at the least moment. Similar too, really kind of awkward board. 4 diamonds last time as well. The ace jack no good. This time king queen no good. And Sven again gonna be happy to check back. Has showdown, doesn't have a diamond, and 4.5 going according to plan. Keeps gathering chips. Oh whoa, there it is. Got to be a limp, right? Got to be a limp, or maybe it's min raise. Okay. Maybe too obvious to limp. These guys are high level, these two guys, Sven and Markus. So he min raise, maybe wishes he limp, but I would think a limp is a better play there. What do you guys think? Just like box your guy in to hit something, just make him come into the pot. I don't know. Usually I would see a limp, especially again our favorite word, right? The RP. With,
the risk
the
cream.
You know? No real problem if he gets outdrawn or something. He can just sort of chalk it up to bad luck and move on, but. As it plays, min raise, take it down. Still 14 blinds. Nine. Rip it. Sven not with the contesting hand here, so we will fold. So. All right, little musical chairs going on. There has been some all-ins. There's been some maneuvering, and it's getting down to it, guys. It does feel like the pace is rapid right now. There's stuff happening. Chips are flying. it's in that we're in that zone where who wants to play heads up with Sven is sort of what it looks like. We're getting that juncture.
It definitely feels that way. It feels inevitable that Sven's playing one of these two heads up. And
I thought the game they were playing is who wants to make 100k more.
That's a good title.
That's stage 1 of the game, Henry. But stage 2 is you get to by doing that you get to play some heads up poker, which is pure form.
Hope you guys are enjoying this. Has definitely been fun. Free roll going on. If anyone's got a nice stack, let us know how they're running out there. James, you're still in?
Yeah, but Ivan in the chat, me, Ivan, and someone else got a 3-way all in on an ace 6-4 2-spade flop. Jeff, I had ace king of spades for the old top pair, top kicker, nut flush draw. I even had 3-7 of spades for the gut shot straight flush draw, and the third player had 6-4 for the flop 2 pair and held on for dear life. It's bad times. I'm short.
Save it for Vegas, James.
There we
Save
go.
it for Vegas. This is our winter or whatever time. This is gonna be our autumn. We'll have a nice time out there. Hopefully, 8-9 suited rips it. King 3 suited, probably up Spidey senses thinking, but just can't call. This is the spots too where like you just gotta fold so tight, right? This is where Sven is just realizing this and interesting here. King 6 off. How many blinds is this?
Let's go again.
14. It's in there, huh? Looks like it might be.
No. I don't know. What is it? 15.
King 6, the K6. Oh, it's so ugly though. It's like even the King 5, you get the wheel stuff can happen. The 6 is such a danger, but he does rip it in, and
going for it.
Going to beat him in the pot, even though this is high. Oh,
wow! King on the flop, Jack on the turn for some additional for Nemeth, but it's not to be. He does bust out in third for $194,000, and Henry. There you go. There's the 100k more. That's what Marcus is going to pick up. But he gets a shot now. He gets a shot. He's guaranteed 300. Got a chance at 480. Just has to overcome Joachim's rather substantial chip lead.
Yeah, both players played really well today, these guys. And nice go from Nemeth there. Taking third, gets it in good. Had a couple premium-ish holdings. King, Queen, Ace, Jack, and Ace, Jack. Didn't win any of those pots with the best hand, and down the stretch there. So wasn't really meant to be shaken out at the end there.
Yeah, and shout out to Nemeth because yesterday he was putting on a bit of a clinic for us, wasn't he, Henry? As soon as he gets chips, it's kind of hold on tight, guys, because he can do it all.
I mean, you see, so was Joachim, man. I mean,
yeah,
there was some out of line plays going on from Joachim. The 6-9 suited comes to mind. Very early doors.
Yeah. 6-9 of diamonds, I remember that one.
That was, fruity. Celestro just won a 4-way all in.
That's the way to do it in a free roll, guys. Good hand. Put it in.
Yeah, so all of a sudden Marcus does have some big blinds here. It's 34 blinds, 35 blinds. So a little bit of play left here.
Yeah.
Do get heads up, and he's in it. He's got a few options on how he wants to proceed. He looks like he's going with the min raise off this stack depth, showing the I think he's got enough chips where he's not just going to be limping. And heads up's always fun. We say this too again, but you just don't know how much heads up. Like maybe Marcus has played more. He's a cash game background player, but either way, I don't think it's one of those things where heads up tournaments it's just not a lot of practice most people have with this, but maybe these players do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're a cash game player, you're going to have played a fair amount of heads up. Maybe not a whole lot of 30 big steep, Jeff, but
right.
you're gonna have a reasonable understanding. Well, I say reasonable. I mean a very good understanding of heads up play.
Yeah, no, it's fair. So didn't take a shot at this board, right? He had the no equity or backdoor diamond, and he just gave up. He does turn a pair now. It gets checked twice. Interesting if he's going to take a stab or decide that, no, he's got some showdown now. Didn't bet the flop. He made it gone for the delayed C-bet. Does turn showdown, and now checks over, and these are just one of those hands where this could actually just go check through, or maybe a little blocker bet from the Jack 10, try to get it called by Queen High or something, a worse Jack or an 8. There he does get the value. Sven just seems in the matrix to me. Like, he's speaking of Sims and stuff. He just seems very, like, pretty much been spot on in every spot.
Dodging bullets.
Yeah. He won that big flip, right? That was the Ace King suited versus Jacks. I mean, that was essentially that was a big one. And then he's sort of he's really played the part. We also saw him attacking Nemeth with the 6-8 of diamonds, attacking him Jack 8 of hearts. He actually lost those pots, but he was 3-betting, showing that he's willing to go for it, showing to play against the best, and playing the spot, right? Playing the stack, playing the situation, and then just sort of was relentless in a lot of these spots. So I think deservingly, there's a reason he's a chip leader and in dictating the action today. And now we do see off this little variation, the blinds go up and Markus' stack is lighter. He does start to implement the limp on the button, which is very common nowadays, right? To see off when you get sub 20 blinds or 25 blinds, you start realize you don't really want to relinquish 2 blinds if you get raised or such. So you just start limping in balanced strategy. And I imagine we'll start seeing a more curtailed limping if the stacks stay around this depth. We'll see Markus implement that, and maybe even Sven limping from his button as well. But as it plays, bottom 2 for Markus, Sven just has a whole lot of nothing.
I don't think we'll see Sven limping until we're like sub. What do you think, Jeff? Like sub 17, 16 kind of thing, or sub 20, I guess.
20 is always a nice benchmark, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's also kind of interesting too. Sometimes depends on like the first hand dealt on the stack sizes, but it's sort of interesting too to see how your opponent, you think they'll respond, right? If you can get away with the min raise, they're not going to be jamming, or they want to go more post flop, or you think they're going to take advantage of that a little more. And I think sometimes people vary and they decide how they're going to go about that strategy. But yeah, here we're still at 30 blinds, so I think just gonna keep with the min raise here. Well, there he does go limping. But again, still it does vary a lot, right? The range of the hands. I'm sure he's not limping 100% here. I would imagine he's probably got some hands he wants to min raise. 5-7 off fits into his limp. At least we know that. Yeah, Queen 4 suited. Queen 7 we like to call the computer hand. That's Queen 7 off. That means in a heads up match. Queen 7-0 would be the actual dead middle ranked hand. So if you get Queen 8 or Queen 7 suited or better, you're feeling like, all right, I probably have the best hand dealt based on just random math. But Queen 4 suited, a little, it's right in that wheelhouse. It's got a suit, but it's less than Queen 7. It does go for the limp, and everyone's got a little something on this flop.
Pair versus pair in heads up. It's pretty grim.
Goes for the check call, weak top pair. Pretty big brick, no straights completing of any kind. There is a turn flush draw, no player with the spade. Top pair still good. And Markus with the decision. Does he want to slow down or keep telling the story? He does have some showdown, but this card looks like a super brick, right? It just doesn't really connect anywhere, although there's a 7.
The old super brick.
7 on the river. Sven has to feel good about his hand. Would have probably heard from a powerful hand on the turn, any type of queens or better jack. Even like a gut shot like the 6-8, which comes home, maybe would fire once more. So I think he's feeling pretty safe. And if you're Markus, it doesn't feel too good all of a sudden, that bottom pair. 7 even kind of completes some of the stuff you were beating. 6-7 or 7-8. Ooh. So let's see. Okay, so he doesn't. He min raises the ace king. He limps on the trash. So
Button up 30, 60. Creep up, Henry. They creep up, but it bites. Oh, it could be. There's a card here. They could see Markus win a nice pot.
it's another one that's decent. So what sizing Markus goes with does go with about a third pot, a little less, a little more, I'm sorry. It just feels wrong. Ace king heads up. How are you not winning?
How do I not win? That's what you think.
Yeah, does go ahead and peel. Like, these are the spots where we've seen Sven kind of like value bet, right? Where he just like knows, he feels like he's got the best hand, and based on hearing where, I don't know, Markus may also go for some sort of value blocker bet. But like a lot of stuff misses here. And does go for a small bet. Gonna be a bit annoying if you're Sven, right? You do beat some things, but you don't love it.
Surely hand over. Man, I'm excited. It's the first time we've seen Joachim in these 25Ks, James, and, you know, guaranteed at least second place, looking in like he's in a great spot to actually close this out. And wonder if we'll be seeing more of him, James. See if he'll be coming back into these high rollers to battle again.
I'm sure we will. I'm very sure we will, especially if he does close this out. I predict he will. I mean, it's not my bravest prediction, Henry. He's going to close this one up, but it's evening up. Markus back up to 2 mil.
Yeah, 2-1 chip lead.
You do see the min raise, so he does decide. There we go to open it up. King Queen, premium heads up, and the call. Ooh.
Wow. What a flop, guys. What a flop. Gut shot, flush draw versus top pair with the Queen of Spades. There's some carnage available here, Henry.
Got the making.
Playing 30 plus deep.
Interestingly enough, I mean, if he were to double, it would essentially flip-flop spots. So,
right.
Although Sven has a nice lead, it's again, that's the crazy thing about heads up. It's never over till it's over, and you just, you start talking about double and the double. Henry was mentioning doubles earlier. You start doubling here, and it can be over pretty quick. So, what a spot.
Yeah, and Markus going for a half pot again. This pot a little bigger. Joachim with the check call.
In before check jamming turn.
Right, it's possible, right, Henry?
Yeah.
Never be too careful, Maybe just he likes where he's at, doesn't want to put the variance down, and maybe thinks that if his opponent doesn't have a king, he'll slow down here.
Bets like 3-7-5.
He's been going smaller, but he does
3-8-2.
just dial it into your radar there. 382.
Is that like 75%?
I mean, Sven just with a couple money cards, the 7 in particular, but maybe thinking an 8 or 6 could be good. He's got the spades.
Can we see the rip, Henry, to this size?
Yeah, I mean, we still have fold equity, and we still obviously have enough equity if we do get called. All right, bricks out. This is wow. Got a heads up match on our hands now. Markus up to 2.6. Joachim down to 3.8.
Yeah, I mean, pretty dry, right? Like everything misses there. That unless somehow a 2-pair random, that would be pretty sick to check slip a 2-pair. But yeah, healthy pot for Marcus. And this is wide open. This is literally anyone's game right now.
Yeah, now we're very close. Over 40 effective. This one has some twists and turns. I mean, Marcus is getting it moving in the right direction. Ace-6 v Ace-5. Even pips him slightly on this one. 8-3-4. Joachim with the gut shot to the wheel.
Yeah, tricky one to play. A6 off, out of position, heads up. Let's go with the check call.
Ooh. This changes things slightly. Joachim now needs a 6 for a straight as well as the deuce. Marcus now looking for the 5. Jeff, you think we see a second barrel here?
Yeah.
There it is.
I think, few reasons it's nice. Also against hands like Jack 10, Queen 10, Queen Jack, you get protection a bit. You don't, you're telling a story, you got a blocker to the nuts, and you are you're double gutted. It's a pretty good spot, I think, to fire. Although, like, you could just think your ace high is good. And look at the stick, and finds it.
Wow.
Man, if you're ace-6, you're also thinking like, man, a lot of stuff missed. 9, 10, hearts, back 10, some continues. Some air balls, and I don't know. This is a bit dicey of a spot. Stacked pot ratio 2 to 1.
What about turning our hand into a bluff?
Got a 6 after all. We've got an ace block and ace-5. Block both the straights, Henry.
James said it.
Henry, you love it too much, don't you? You love it.
This is one of those ones where you could really like overbet. You could also just like, it's so important to get that value. And he goes for the full pot, little over pot, a little extra tinkle on the pot for trying to cut his man down to half on the stack.
I mean, it's the dream card, Jeff. The offsuit deuce. Everything else has missed. Very hard for Marcus when he's got an 8 here. Very hard if he's got a 7 here. Now, Henry, this would be heroic.
Stop it. Stop it.
That would have been heroic. You could have. It's possible, but nice discipline. Thought Marcus did that pretty well.
These are two pretty good hands in a heads-up match.
This is a heads-up. Yeah, this is a heads-up fiasco here. Could go a bunch of different ways. This is definitely 2 premiums. We see the limp.
The limp. We're going, I think, aren't we, guys? We got this.
Oh, man, it's gonna be 240.
I mean, Joachim can't fold this, can he, when he gets jammed on?
Is he making it? Okay, 180 even. 3x. And Marcus, for sure, he's going to be putting it up. But I guess Sven just has a decision. Does he want to play for it all here on the... if he rips it in? And I mean, King-Queen, just one of those ones that's like just kind of good enough. That feels good. I think you're not raising as a bluff. So we might be seeing 5.
Yeah, I mean, if he rips, I don't think, Henry, that... Okay. All right. What's going on, Henry? Help me out. What are we doing?
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. There's some button clicking going on here with the 7s. I think limp calling's absolutely fine. Like, we're over 30 effective. There's no need to get out of line.
Well, we get to a flop. This is the chances. Then, I mean, all of a sudden, might not be. Thought we were likely going to be.
Yeah, I mean,
had a chance for a flip to end this thing, but all of a sudden we see.
And Jeff, this should shut Marcus down, right? King 10-9 when your man's raised from the big and called the re-raise. It kind of smacks of having something around Broadway, doesn't it?
Yeah, you got to believe he's got a path out.
Ooh.
Ace.
Ooh.
Again.
All that's there said, Henry. This now gets to be potentially Marcus can go a little bit blasty.
We don't have a paddle right now, boys. You know,
I don't think we've got a canoe, Henry. Like, I think we're just
overboard without a life jacket, man. It's,
Marcus, the cash game background may just, might just go for it. Is he going to go for it? These guys have both been thinking. Okay, there you go.
Joachim doesn't have ace king, doesn't have ace queen. Doesn't have ace jack. Maybe just flats ace jack. I don't know. Marcus gets to have more of this, I think. And he may just go blasting and end up winning this one. Because I think Joachim's going to stick around now, but what's he going to do to a river shove?
Wow. SPR less than 1 stack pot ratio. Marcus, Sven, man, 2 great players. They played great, and let's see what happens. Is this? He's got the winner if it checks.
Can he call though? Can he call Jeff? I mean,
you think he's gonna shove? He could definitely go for it. You're right. He has ace king, ace queen, even ace jack.
Right.
Probably Sven might go there. You're right. I mean,
Joachim, I said I don't think he has that.
The timing feels like he's ripping it. This guy, I feel like Marcus is gonna just
wow.
Oh, the snap!
Wow.
Snapping for the win. I mean, this is high level, boys. We just got to see a treat of a heads-up match. What a play! What all-around great play!
Wow. What a final hand that was. I mean, could have gone down a number of ways. Ended up being quite peculiar. Down the streets with the river jam, but Joachim makes the call, Henry, and is the Powerfest Super High Roller Champion.
Jeff said it, so we might see 5, and I don't think any of us expected us to see 5 in that way until the money went in, but hey.
Yeah, and Markus Leikkonen picking up a shade under 300 bags for that second place finish. Andras Nemeth, always entertaining viewing with him third for a little under 200. You see the rest as they go there. Of course, we came back with 11 to start today. We did play down to our champion. And Joachim Andersson is that man, guys. What an evening we've had of it. What a final table.
Yeah, he's came out early yesterday with some funky plays. People in the chat saying some street poker being played here, and 24 hours later we've crowned him as a winner. So looking forward to seeing him in future high rollers.
Yeah, certainly. I'm sure we will. Well, let me remind you guys actually before we do leave that the free roll's going on and late reg is still available. So if you have just joined us, you just missed the end of the tournament, but that doesn't mean you can't get in the mix. The free roll, 20 minutes left to late reg. The password is Power Rangers. Power Ranger or Power Rangers? Power Ranger. There we go. If I can't read it, guys, I forget what it is. It's because I'm in the free roll. I don't want you guys joining. I'll be honest. Don't come and join me in the free roll. Let me win the tickets. You don't need them, guys. You don't need them. No seriousness though. Like Jeff, my man, thanks as always joining us from the start this evening for this finals. Always great to have you with us.
Cheers, guys. Really appreciate it. That was fun to watch.
All right. Well, guys, that's it from us. We'll be back next week for the one-day Super High Roller, Henry. A slightly shorter clock. Maybe see some high equity flips with some shallower stacks. Should be fun.
Yeah, that's 16-minute levels, one day high roller. I think all the boys are going to show up for that one. I think we're going to have a pretty solid lineup.
Yeah, well, that is it, guys. That's what you got to look forward to next Tuesday. Best of luck in the meantime in all your Powerfest ventures. Myself and Henry, 7:30 UK time next Tuesday. Good night.